That's what the Westerners say, right?
we are live for the very late beginning of episode 10 of the Adventures of Venuru, the Echoes That Parted.
Hello, everyone, and sorry for the late start.
So
That's your
today we
It
have
is, you're
if everyone would like to cycle through real quick.
Yes.
Starting at the top.
Yeah, I am Evan, who is playing Astastab as usual.
And I am Seth, and I'll be playing Morark.
I omit.
He's right.
I'm Skylar, but I can't say who it is yet. Don't cheat and look at the stream and
You
just.
could also just play. You could also just say I'm playing Ilphus.
Oh yeah,
Or was Ilphus.
I was playing Elphus, but I'll be playing somebody else. Oh, that
I
everybody
would
else
think-
but Jay knows, so Jay don't cheat.
Oh no, I accidentally.
I was
no,
just gonna say
I went
you
to
could
go to
also
my
just I'm
character
playing
sheet on
Ilphus,
D&D
and then
Beyond,
just
and I
look
just
up
got
on
an
it.
idea. Oh no, I'm sorry.
Anyways,
I'll look forget it.
I am
This is why
John,
God's forsaken me.
John Jr. And I
No.
play Rack.
Jonathan Joestar.
Jonathan Jr. I like it.
I have a dream.
And I'm Jay. For this episode, I was told I'm going to be playing 2 parts. So, first of all, I'm Cyphus Willowglade, and for the second part, the name's Davin. Little spoiler, but I wanted to prepare everyone for this episode. So,
I'm not prepared. My
And,
body is not.
Okay. We can begin. In the last
Where we
session,
left off.
the party had reached Starport Bow, a small port town that that from a certain point of view looked relatively beautiful. You ventured and met an envoy from the Black Hand, a new cult based on a god that was also dubbed the Black Hand. You all rested at the Sea Trinity Tavern, where Cyphus went on a date with the barkeep. During
Whoa.
which, Ilphus followed and found Jinfris's cold body impaled on a spike atop of an abandoned shack, to which he was jumped and taken by this new organization dubbed the Bloodhounds. The party found his spellbook as Ilphus gave out his quote-unquote last message. The party rallied after hearing Fiverr's story and were determined to find the Bloodhounds. And you all currently stand in the streets of Starport Bow, still. And Fiverr looks at all of you and says, "We should head through Nujima if we're gonna do this." He then says, I can drive our cart. There's no need for 2 anymore, since, and he'll look up at Jinfris. I don't need to sleep all that much, but we need to go now. And
well, we should bury Jinfris first.
he'll look at you and he'll say, we can bury him on the way.
Alright, so he's like lifted onto this huge pike, right?
Yeah, he's on top of this pike on top of a small shack.
Will I be able to like get him down?
Yeah, I'll say for the sake of simplicity, you do just climb up there without having to roll to do it, and you kind of you reach out and you slowly take him off of the pike, making sure not to drop him, and then with one arm you carry him in your left arm and slowly jump down, and you have his body. Fiverr goes off towards the stables.
Does he have his gear still on him?
Yes, he does.
Okay, does he have any symbols of Tiana or anything?
Not really.
Okay,
He does have. I mean, it depends on how long you want to search him for.
Well, does like he have any rings or a necklace or anything?
Specifically of Tiana, no, but he does have.
Just in general.
In one of his pockets, he does keep a necklace that is of a that's silver forged, and it's an amulet of a dragon head. That I don't know. That's about it. That's all you really find in terms of like a decoration or a sign of worshipping.
Okay. I'm gonna hold on to it for now, and then I'm going to go ahead and lay his body into our cart.
Okay. Soon enough, Fiverr comes back, and with your guys' cart, and I imagine you all get aboard of it.
Yes.
Mark will,
That
as
would be correct.
typical, will not get onto the cart, just so that way everybody else has a decent amount of room.
Mm-hmm. Okay. You begin heading out during this night, with Fiverr taking the reins and Raditz sitting next to him. You begin the same 2-day journey that took you here, back to Najima. Is there anything you would like to do during the 2-day trip? Any sort of... Well, actually... So,
Well, I would like to bury
yeah.
Jinfris.
So the first day passes, and it's night once more. And you stop halfway there, and Fiverr stops the cart, and he says, I think this is fair. I think this is far enough.
Alright. Do you want to join me in the burial?
Absolutely.
Alright. So Mark will carefully pick up his body. Do I see like a good area to bury him in?
You can find a forest clearing, yeah.
Okay. Do we have any shovels?
I got a crowbar.
Oh, it's not that funny.
I know, we're talking about a dead guy here, my bad.
I'll just say that Fiverr brought a shovel from his cart.
Okay, for simplicity's sake.
Yeah.
Okay.
For simplicity.
Then we'll go over to like I don't want to bury him out in the like open clearing. But I want to bury him like next to a nice tree.
Okay. You do find a nice pine tree that isn't exactly covered in snow. It's still kind of a little. There's gravity obviously pressing down on the leaves, but
yeah.
Overall, it's not really harmed or old.
Well, I don't want to dig like right at the base of the tree. I'll dig to like a decently close to it, but not right next to it.
Okay.
Then how long would that usually take?
I'll say he's kind of a big guy, so.
And I don't want to put him full 6 feet under, just like 4.
Okay.
Question: you changed my image of my character.
Yes, I know, because it's also on the stream, JJ.
Oh, true.
So it takes you about 45 to like 55 minutes.
Okay.
Skipping the extra feet did cut you some time, but he is now in the hole.
So after burying him, Mark will just kind of like stick the shovel into the ground next to Fiverr, and then look over to him and be like, "Well, it was hard work, but it's done. Do you have any words for him?"
And Fiverr is still carrying the baby kobold. And he says, to be entirely fair, I didn't really know Jinfris too much. He came to me with his, I guess, adopted child. He told me he was running from a organization. I don't even think they're an organization. A dragon's hold on his life, and he traveled around here with us, and he was the last traveling sword. So may he find peace wherever he's going.
Mark will, rub his hands or of the dirt that's on them at least as best as he can. And then he'll pull out the necklace, and then he'll walk over to Jinfris's grave, and then like just on the top layer, he'll like bury it underneath it.
Okay.
and then he'll just like whisper, I don't know who did this to you, but just know that you will be avenged. And then he'll step back and say a slight little prayer to Tiana to take his soul. Keep it safe on its journey. And then he'll look at Fiverr and then ask, what will we do with the young one now?
I I speculate that whether or not Ilphus is dead or alive, I think we should either leave it when we get to Najima with the church, perhaps, and we'll come back with Ilphus to retrieve it, or take it with us, but that puts the child in danger.
In all honesty, we should probably take the child. I don't know. I don't think it would be safe with us, but perhaps we could find a loving family that might like it.
He'll nod, and
How does the kobold look?
like in terms of like attitude.
Yeah.
The entire time it's kind of buried into Fiverr's cloak, so he's trying to hide his face from everything, and he, for the most of the time, has been sleeping.
Mm-hmm. Mark will second guess himself, and he'll walk back over to the grave, and he'll take out the little necklace, and he'll take it over to the kobold.
Do you give him the necklace?
Yes.
Okay. He'll take it, and his eyes kind of light up a bit, and he begins to like gnaw on the end of the metal.
Mark will go, no, 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 and then like he'll take it back a little bit, and then like put it around its neck.
To which when it like lands on his chest, which takes up a good portion of his chest, he takes it and he kind of just puts it in his mouth.
Maybe he's teething. Well, it may not have been his father, but at the very least it was his caretaker. He should probably have something to remember him by, no? And he'll look at Fiverr.
Fiverr will solemnly nod at you.
Hey, Fiverr.
Yeah.
What are you going to do now?
Well, I think there's a lot of problems going on. The sinkhole that opened up northeast of Najima is a concern. This is also a concern of mine. I know what it's like to lose someone you've been traveling with a lot, and I also partly blame myself for this sudden appearance of the black liquid in terms of selling and knowledge about it.
Mark will kind of nod in understanding, and then just look back to him and say, well, you cannot blame yourself entirely.
The man I met all those years ago, he was strange. He told me that no matter how long I would live, let's say I reached the maximum age or the known age for elves, which is about 500, 700 I think actually, 700. He said I could keep living on if I just helped him. And that is why I blame myself.
Well, don't be so hard on yourself. I mean, it is not wrong to want those temptations, and in all honesty, I think even I would give in to some. I mean, I've seen stronger men give away a lot more for a lot less.
I think I'll accompany you until my journey's end with this.
Hmm.
Though we must inform the church about the Black Hand.
Yes, and I have several questions that need to be answered.
Fiverr will nod, and he'll look at the rest of you in the cart, and he'll say, "Sleep. I'll meditate for 4 hours, and then we'll begin again."
All right.
Sounds good.
Mark will go ahead and lay out his stuff, but he will keep his sword unsheathed this time.
Okay. Rakus, as you kind of just sit there, make another woodcarver's check for me.
Okay. And it's int plus proficiency.
Yeah.
So 16.
Okay. You are. Oh, I almost. I dropped something. Hold on. You are 2/3 done with your white dragon carving. You're about. You're done with the head and most of the left side of his body, including the folded wing. You're now beginning to work on the right side, and during which, Fiverr will, 4 hours later, open his eyes again after his trance, and he'll look at you. And he'll kind of stare at you for a moment, and he'll say, "Your lack of sleep is interesting."
Thank you.
That's not necessarily a compliment. And Fiverr will grab one of the stars on his cloak, and it'll grip it tightly. And he closes his eyes, and you see him wave his right hand in symbols of magic. And he opens his eyes once more and takes away his hand from his cloak, and he says, "You're not like anyone else, are you?"
In what regard do you mean?
When I sense for dark auras, I see this figure behind you with these tendrils that swarm around you. A dark figure.
I physically turn around and see nothing and be like, I don't understand.
Be careful. That's all. And he'll turn around and start the horses once more. Is there anything anyone else would like to talk about on the way back?
I would like to confront Cyphus,
Okay.
and I'll be like,
As you notice, Cyphus, his head is bent down. He hasn't looked up this entire time. All he's done is rip his sleeves off. Oh, sticky key is great.
Stick finger.
but Ash is just gonna be like, hey, bud, or, you know, I didn't really. All I really know is you and Nilphus had a lot together, and I'm not really sure entirely what it was entirely. I have a pretty good idea, but I know he means a lot to you. He started to really grow on me. I don't know if we're gonna find him or what we're gonna find, but I'm gonna be here for you no matter what.
As you say this, Cyphus grabs each of his sleeves and rips it. You get a tear of each side,
Part 2.
showing his biceps, and you start to notice that all along his arms, all the way up, which you couldn't see before, there are cuts and slashes and scars all the way up. And they even start to protrude onto his shoulder, but you can barely see them.
Oh my god.
You notice that they're on both sides. You also notice small, like, holes, which seem to be injections, seem to be like needle marks. And all you see is that he does this while keeping his head down. And you can start to hear what almost sounds like ice hitting the ground, hitting the floor beneath him. And you notice that it almost looks like ice is just falling from his eyes, while his veins start to protrude from his arms, and they almost seem to glow blue, like a lighter blue than what they normally would be.
Okay, so Cyphus, yeah, he's sitting right now, obviously, yeah.
Yes, he's sitting.
Aster is going to sit next to him and just try and comfort him, and just just the best he can, really.
Do you touch him?
I will touch him.
It's extremely cold. It almost feels like sticking your hand in cold water, like ice cold water, but it's just on the part that you're touching. And he'll just simply say, I failed.
It's not just you anymore who failed.
No, it is. As he looks up and he turns to you, you see that his eyes have started to. They're still their completely black color that they were before. His entire eye is black, but it now has. It almost looks like when you take food coloring and you splash it into water and you mix it around. It starts to look like that, almost like different colors are mixing in his eyes, and it's just blue, a very, very dark shade of blue, like a navy, that's swirling within his eyes. And you can see the tears start to form, almost turn to ice, and then fall, as he looks at you and says, my goal was to bring him back, safe and sound. Now my people will never be free. I was Ven's last hope. And I failed.
As Aster doesn't really know too much about the world he's in right now, and he's slowly just learning more and more every day. He doesn't really know too much about Ven. So this is pretty
Worst is,
but
not only did I fail my people, but I failed Ilford. His last words were, I don't want you running around and getting yourself hurt. What if someone comes after you? And the last thing I told him was, you probably should watch out for yourself more. And
so
out of the blue, you'll start to see that Cyphus begins to almost experience pain, and he starts to flex as his arms start to be firmly grasped, and you'll notice that his veins are continuing to become bluer. And the ice around his shackles is forming again, and it's starting to completely encoat his shackles. And you can see visible pain, and you can start to see blood fall from his wrist and almost turn to ice. And he just starts to be in pain.
As this is happening, uh, to those who can actually see, there's just a single tear lingering on Astra's left cheek. It's probably ended up just freezing at this point.
So do we
And
hear him grunting
Yeah.
and stuff?
Yeah, he's pretty loud about it. It's extremely painful for him.
Okay.
And so Cypress will, oh my goodness.
Evan, can
Cyphus
you like
will
turn it off?
just turn it off for when we play. Cyphus will turn to Astra and say, his father did this. And I told him, I will kill him, and I will make him pay.
let's get this son of a bitch. I'm just gonna try and just wrap my arms around him and just give him a hug the best I can. And while doing this, I'm gonna use healing hands.
So, when he wraps his arms around you, Cyphus, and his hands kind of touch your arms.
Sorry, I'm rolling my crimson.
I know. How much damage did you take?
I took 5
Okay.
damage.
You heal 4.
You see Aster's hands begin to glow slight traces of radiant energy.
And also, I should mention, I kind of want to like do it on more or less the whole shackles and arms area
Yeah, I know.
specifically.
He rubs your arms, and you see ever so slightly your wounds start to heal up a small bit. And it feels kind of soothing.
What is this relief?
I don't know too well as of what I am to an extent, but I learned a little trick up my sleeve. Well, it's not really up my sleeve. I don't even know if I'm wearing sleeves right now. But well, I've been learning a few tricks.
Pain's gone.
I'm very happy to hear that, Cyphus.
And for a moment, you'll start to see his eyes turn to an orange. So the black has completely gone, and it's just his eyes are now a full color of orange. And he has a look of shock on his face as he just stares at his hands, how muddy and gross they look as he looks more towards his wrist. How did you do that?
I mean, I just explained that, but
But I don't get it.
I mean, to say I get it as well, to say I would get it would be quite the overstatement.
Time it feels different. It's not as painful as I remember. Why is that?
Yet again, another good question. I guess we can try and figure that out together. As a team. We're in this together. And we're going to deal with or get, I don't even know the word, payback, maybe?
Our friend.
We're going
We're going to get our friend.
we're going to get Elvis back. We're going to find him. Your city is going to be saved.
Are you?
And we're going to do it as a team.
Like, honestly, what are you?
I mean, as specifically,
In
people.
all my years of studying, I've never seen something like you.
I've never seen something like me either.
And I thought I was special.
I mean, people of Ilphis actually called me I think it was an ASMR.
Hmm.
So I guess we
Oh,
have
let
that.
me heal-
I guess
let me
that's
heal
what
the
I have to
4
go
HP.
off of.
Is my keyboard not working? My keyboard's not working. I don't know why.
Yes,
We need to try unplugging it. Hold on. Give me 1 moment.
The work of an
Can't even
enemy
mute.
stand.
And
And then we can hear Evan.
Yeah,
go
we can
typing.
move on. I can't. Let me fix my keyboard. Give me 1 moment.
So
well, Mark would see that you all are talking, and he'd be like, "Okay, I guess Esther has it. I guess it's all under control." And I'll eat some beef jerky.
alright.
Because the night's already passed, right?
Yeah, this is the morning. This is the day you get to Najima.
Okay.
So, unless there's anything else Cyphus would like to say to Aster.
I mean, no, there's nothing else. I also just kind of can't because my keyboard's not working. I can't do things properly.
Is it only on Discord, or is
I
it
think
like
we-
actually
No, it's legit.
overall?
Like my keyboard entirely isn't working. So.
Is it actually like
Yeah.
registering that you have?
Try unplugging and replugging it
I
back in.
tried unplugging it and everything.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. Let's just continue
Okay.
the game. I'm gonna
No,
work
To
on
make
this.
sure the on button is on.
Ah, smart.
Turn it
button
off
is
and on again.
I thought at first it was my numpad, but I actually started trying to type and it just was not working. So I'm restarting. I'm downloading the newest version of my software for my.
I
computer.
gotcha,
So just
gotcha.
keep going. I think that's what it is. Just keep going.
Okay.
Okay. That was about the end. That was the end of the conversation, anyways. I would assume.
Rakus, roll another woodcarver's check.
Woodcarvers, okay. Ooh. 12.
12. I'll say you get halfway done with the rest of the 1/3 left.
What's he making this time? I don't know what he's making.
I thought it was pretty obvious. He said it was a white dragonborn.
Or white dragon.
Oh wow, I'm dummy.
My bad.
I
I'm
forgot
okay.
because I'm dumb.
All right. You guys
That's
begin
what you
to
remember.
approach the stone walls of Nijima. The snow has mostly melted, and it's actually beginning to kind of drizzle. The ground is making sloshing noises as the wheel travel across it, and you reach the gate, and the guards kind of turn and see all of you again, and they nod to you and begin to open the gate.
Yeah, don't even have to show them. They just open it.
When you enter with your cart, most of the citizens are either not out, it's kind of dead looking, or they're adorning umbrellas and walking around. Where would you like to go?
Mark's gonna turn to the party and say, if you all need to take care of stuff, I totally understand. I'm going to go see Alexander at the church.
Fiver will chime in and say, well, we need to drop the cart off at the church anyway, so
Very true, very true.
we'll go to the church first, and then we can disperse if we need to.
How many days do we have to be back at the port?
Back at the
Do we-
port? Are we going
No.
back to the port?
Are we? I have the plan is like.
Well, the plan
Right.
was that, but
we'll
now
just-
that we know that Isham is trying to use the black liquid, this is out in public, so I'm going to be very frank. No, we are not going to help him.
Cool.
And Fiver
Awesome.
will nod.
Sounds like a plan to me.
But as we're walking towards the church, Mark will kind of hang back towards the cart. How is Cyphus looking?
So he after the conversation with Astra, he looked a little better, but as you notice, even through his ripped off sleeves, he still looks and sounds terrible. At this point, he's a little more looking up, but he's still mostly got his head down. He's a little less angry, but he's still very much just defeated. I think that's the only word I can use to describe him at the moment.
I got you.
At which point, actually, Raditz will walk over to you, Cyphus, and he will kind of grab his oar that
By
hangs
the
around
way-
his neck, and he'll reach out his hand and put it to your armor. You have +1 armor.
Okay, so just equip that scale now.
Yeah.
I legit just have it sitting in my inventory still because I'm like, it's 45 pounds that I don't really care about because I don't carry much anyways. So I just turn off which one I'm using
Yeah.
and just put on the other one.
Yeah, I saw. And let's see, how does he'll just nod to you.
Thank you.
And he'll kind of pat you on the shoulder and then go back to sitting in the front of the cart. Eventually, you'll arrive at the stables of the church, and Fiverr will park the cart, and he'll get off and he'll say, "Alright, Morark, if we want to go to the inside the cathedral, I'll meet you in there."
I appreciate it, Fiverr, but after we discuss what it is we need to discuss with Alexander, I will ask you to leave the room afterwards. There's something a little more, what's the word, confidential I need to discuss with him.
Alright, that's fine.
Alright. Then Mark will
Give me 1
proceed.
second.
1.
Ha ha ha.
Oh. But Mark will head on into the cathedral towards where Alexander typically sits. Wait, what day is it?
It's the second day, so it's been 2 days since you've left Starport Bow.
Yeah, but is it church day?
Oh, no.
Okay.
When you
Just making
left,
sure.
I think it was last church day, so
Okay.
it's like Thursday, I think.
Okay, I don't want to just barge in and be like, sup?
Yeah. Okay. You walk in and you hear Fiverr also walk in along with you, and you see kind of sitting with his knees on the floor and kind of hands together praying to the statue of Tiana is High Priest Alexander. To which when he hears you enter, he stands up and he turns around. "Morark, is that you?"
Who else would it be, Alexander?
And he'll begin walking over to you, and he looks at Fiverr and he nods to Fiverr.
I'll give him a big ol' hug.
And he returns a big ol' hug.
We have very important news to speak to you about. The question is, do you want to do it more privately or here?
We can do it here.
Alright. Well, remember that man that I was pretty certain I had killed because I cut him in half, and I gave you, a letter, and he was in Wyvern, I think it was called, and it was related to the black liquid and everything?
Yeah.
Well, he's still alive.
That's troublesome.
Very much so. In fact, he came to the Stardust Syndicate and hired us for a job to go to some island where all the black liquid is, and he wanted to commission us to get him it, essentially.
So you're referring to Skull's Keep then?
Yes, I believe that's the name.
Fiverr, did you tell Morark about what happened? And Fiverr will nod and say, "I told him about it, yeah." And Alexander will say, "And does he have an organization?"
Yes. They call themselves, correct me if I'm wrong, Fiverr, because I can be wrong on these things, but the Black Hand.
Piper will nod.
They essentially pray to some other deity or something that apparently, and he'll put this next part in air quotes and say, gives them eternal life. Kind of like Tiana, except they stay in this plane of existence. They don't go to a heaven. They just stay here.
Give me one moment. I need to.
Roll.
Yeah.
Critical roll.
So, Alexander kind of scratches his chin a little bit, and then he says, "The Black Hand is a god that was cast out from the Pantheon.
Well, I don't think he's happy about that.
He shouldn't be. To put this lightly, he has a name, but none of us utter it. He's not meant to be mentioned in that way."
Well, it seems he's trying to make a comeback and get followers.
Well, if you are interested as to know why, the oldest god that we know of is Rasil, and his wife Valencia, who I believe your friend Raditz worships.
Yes.
They had their children, which became...
Where is Reddit?
He's in the cart.
Okay.
He's passive. They had children with each other, which led to the birth of the Pantheon. And actually, something you might find interesting is there was a newly born god, Vixia. I think she was born from Tiana, and, well, there's rumors of a fight between all of the Pantheon over what they should do with our continent and the other continents around us, and the Black Hands wanted to bring an end to it all. There was an island a long time ago that was the Fifth Kingdom, but it was destroyed by a man Fiverr knows all too well. And Fiverr will nod. What we call Skull's Keep now was the lost Fifth Kingdom. The remains and everything of that place that was organic turned into the black liquid. Alexander will say. And we believe, if what you're saying is the case, Morark, that this organization's use of the black liquid is to take over... It's hard to place, but I doubt they're going to try to revive and bring a god back to his full strength. But do not doubt that that god can resurrect people from the dead. You said it yourself. Someone you cut in half came back.
Yeah.
This is concerning, and I will. Well, when our envoy gets back from the sinkhole, I'll send them over to Starport Bow and begin to investigate.
Yeah. By the way, we might want to get some paladins on this with how serious it seems to be getting. I should mention he had followers, didn't he, Fiverr?
Uh, Fiverr will generally nod. Uh, yeah, I think he had a man waiting for him at the port that we met. Um, did he have any other followers that you met, Morark?
Well, that's where the confidentiality comes into play. But I think so. I do not remember entirely, but I think there was a woman and a man with him. Um, what they are, I do not know, but I I think that they were relatively pretty powerful.
And Fiverr will chime in and say, I think they were wearing masks as well, judging from their envoy they sent us.
Probably more than likely. So he'll turn to Alexander and say, "This Isham guy, he's gathering followers pretty quickly, it seems, and he seems to be trying to make a move. Um, it might be best if the church tries to tackle this head on."
There's 2 new pieces of information for you, Mork, that you need to know. Alexander will say. While our group was investigating the sinkhole, we found out that the sinkhole, where it's originated, was a place of an ancient race that used to be on this continent. They were mole people, and they were known as today as the Terathinians. While our group was down there, we found parted Terathinians, as we're dubbing them. The affliction of the black liquid is what we are dubbing as the parting or parted. And that means that somehow he is getting access through those tunnels. That God knows how far goes. Gianna knows how far it goes. But another piece
He's
of
building
information.
an army.
Perhaps. Another piece of information. The note you gave to me about his business deals with Ashan.
Mm-hmm.
The initials KA, they match up with the same person Fiverr knew 50 years ago.
So he's still alive?
Fiverr will say, his name was Killian Asinus. And I don't know what he is. When he came to me, he had these bone-like wings, and well, you know the rest, but that's his name. And Alexander will chime in. And
Mark will write that name down in his book.
okay. And if it means that Killian Asinus is still alive, then we have a problem.
Well, I would assume so.
Where are you heading up to next, Morork?
That is what I was going to speak to you about. And he'll look at Fiverr and give him that look of privacy.
Yeah. Okay. So if that's the case, then Fiverr will nod at you and he'll begin to walk away.
All right. When he's out of earshot, Mark will pull out the notebook. Not the book, but
The notebook from Carglia.
yeah. And he'll say, I think I have bad news. I'm
Uh,
not
Ale-
100% certain. I don't know. And he'll kind of like look defeated for a second.
and Alexander kind of furrows his brows and he says, "Do you give him the notebook?"
No, I'm hanging on to it right now.
Okay. Okay.
But so he'll resume and he'll just say, "Does how long has Professor Dardium been doing experiments?"
Darium. God, I've known him for a very long time. His experiments. Well, he kind of scratches his chin again and he says, "I think Darium's been with us since he was 17. So, 30 years."
Alright, well, it might be time to investigate him.
And Alexander's partial smile will kind of drop and say, "Why is that?"
I have reason to believe that he's breaking one of our testaments and he is mind wiping Carglia.
Alexander will nod, and I myself was suspicious of his experiments, as he dubbed them. He was strange when he first arrived. I mean, I don't know how to put this, but there's something about him, about collecting. When I was with you during Aster's removal of the disease inside of him, he was keen on collecting the liquid that came out.
Yeah, he was.
That makes me think that whatever he wants with it, he might be adding to his experiments now.
Well, I don't want to point fingers or say he's guilty because I've known him since I was born. After my mom died and dad died, I kind of just had you, Darium, and Nordis. But I don't know, Alexander. I think he is breaking the rules. And then now he'll hand him the notebook.
Okay. When you hand him it, he'll begin to thumb through it. And he will say, actually, Morik, make a perception check.
All right. Natural 20.
Okay. You
Well,
can
minus
see,
1, so 19.
yeah, you can see poking his green head from around the statue where Darium's room would be. You can see the top of the head of Carglia kind of watching this.
Mm-hmm.
And as soon as you two lock eyes, he immediately backs away, and then you hear a door shut.
Mark will let him go. But he'll keep that in mind. And then,
Mark will remember that.
yeah, Mark will remember that. Essentially. And then he'll also rub the back of his head and then say, also, Alexander, something odd happened with me recently.
And Alexander will look at you kind of directly and say, "What?"
It's like I wasn't myself. At least from my point of view, everything was fine, but according to my comrades and everybody else around me, I just completely changed. I became like I didn't care about the church, it seemed, because we got the job from Ishan 2 days ago, and apparently I just took us straight there and didn't bother to come tell you. And then I was mean with everybody. I don't know. I changed. It let me. It's confusing because for me, I remember events differently. Like I remember not going to you, but I thought Fiverr was with us, and he said that he would go to you. But apparently that never happened. And apparently all the conversations I had with people, I thought I was being nice, but apparently I was just being cruel. And I don't know. I just changed.
That's quite interesting. That. And he'll once again scratch his chin and he'll say, I think you. Let me know if this happens again.
Alright. I don't know what caused it. But according to Brad, it's the thing that I guess prompted me regaining control, if you want to say that, is that they mentioned the church. And then apparently I like stood still for like a minute and a half, like a statue, and then I came back to.
Huh. Well, I'll keep this in mind and I'll talk to Darium about it.
Well, what for?
I should have been talking to Darium about where he was taking the liquid. After all we really have is a couple of vials at most of it. And I just figured he was getting rid of it in his own way. But this information, and he's thumbing through the notebook again, has me worried.
Right, but also in regards to me, why would Darium know about this? Did I like exhibit these habits when I was a kid?
Darium, yes, you manufactured it when you were a kid.
Wait, what?
Uh, you started to show it when you were a kid.
Oh, okay. Sorry, that was a big word you said. So wait, if this has been happening before, then why was I never told about it?
It only happened a couple times when you were younger.
Well, this is new information.
Yeah. I figured not to tell you since it might worry you, but
Is that everything?
Alexander kind of ponders for a moment. How many of those wolves have you seen so far?
None. I haven't come across any more, at least to my knowledge. But like I said, I'll keep a lookout. It's kind of hard to find them. I mean, there isn't much to really track, seeing as they are all over the place, scattered about.
And Alexander will kind of look like he goes off into thought, and then he says, Did I ever tell you about Grand Priest Lucius?
Not really, no. I've never met him.
No, you wouldn't have been able to meet him. He was my teacher and mentor when I was younger. He taught me in Fiverr. And he also was the one to banish Fiverr from the church. He was a spectacle.
Seems like it.
And he died about 50 years ago from natural causes. He was old.
Well, you're pretty soon you'll be getting old too, no?
Perhaps. But then again, you're getting old too.
Hey, I'm only like what, 23?
Yeah, but just wait another 23 years and you'll be pretty old.
Well, I would assume so. That's a long time.
Thanks, Mark.
Of course, Alexander.
And he reaches out to your dreadlocks and he kind of gives you like a rub on your head.
Mm-hmm.
And, well, you best get going if you're heading out again.
Yeah, I should. Hey, Alexander.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Mark will take out the axe head of his mother's axe, and he'll say, I know you gave me my mother's axe head when I was little, but do you have anything from my father?
And he ponders for a very long time. I hold on. And he will go down one of the other corridors to your right.
Mm-hmm.
And about 5 minutes later, he'll come out with a. It's kind of a broken medallion.
Mm.
And the medallion consists of a star. And it's kind of split in half, and he hands both pieces to you.
I'll take them.
He wore that in his last battle.
Well, I appreciate it. Any idea what cracked it?
It could have been a axe. Maybe it hit him exactly in that spot, and it broke it. I don't know. Or perhaps from where? I don't know.
Mark will nod, and then he'll wrap the medallion around the axe head, and then like put both pieces into his pouch.
Okay.
And then I'll say, well, I guess I should be going. After all, we need to take care of all this.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for seeing me, Alexander.
It was
Sorry
nice.
to disturb you.
It was nice seeing you, and I wasn't disturbed.
We'll give Alexander a big ol' hug before heading back out.
And I'll say for this term, when you hug Alexander, you kind of pick him up a little bit.
Yeah.
And his legs kind of kick when you do it, but you put him back down, and
Accept my love.
he accepts it. And you walk out, and
Love accepted, mission accomplished.
what does the rest of the party want to do?
That's a good question.
I'll just say this right now. Cyphus isn't gonna do anything. He's just gonna stay there and just sit.
Yeah, I'm not sure Rakis has too much to do either, so he's also just going to rest in the cart.
I think Aster would just also like to just stay and try to just comfort Cyphus until he's visibly doing a lot better.
So then, about 20 minutes later, Morik and Fiverr will come back out of the cathedral, and Fiverr will turn to all of you, and he'll say, "So, you guys had allies with the Stardust Syndicate, correct?
Perhaps.
Do we want to see if they know anything about the Bloodhounds?"
They might. What do you think? He'll look at Cyphus and say, Cyphus, do you know if they would know anything?
Cyphus looks up slightly and says, possible.
Alright, well, we should probably get the hop on it as soon as possible, so that way we can find whoever did those things and put them 6 feet under.
And Fiverr will nod and say, "If this is our way out of the city, do you want to take the cart, or?"
We probably should.
And Fiverr will nod, and he'll get the reins of the cart once more, and he'll begin traveling down.
Well, Mark, real quick, is gonna walk up to Cyphus and say, "Hey, Cyphus, I was wrong. I know it is not. Well, I know it's not the best news that you might want to hear right now, but Darium's being investigated. Remember what you said about him brainwashing, Carglia. I think you were right."
I know a mad scientist when I see one. And I shouldn't say scientist, but just a mad person who likes to experiment on people. It's a little close to the jail cell. As he stops looking at you and looks back down.
I just want you to know that Darium kind of raised me, but if he is doing these things, not even I can stand by what he is doing. Alexander said he would conduct an investigation on him, and I'll be sure to keep you updated with it.
Thank you.
Of course. This is what friends do, no?
Alright. You know, I haven't been thoroughly open about everything.
And it's okay. You'll open up in your own time.
It's hard moving from an orphanage to a lab to its cell. I never had a choice as to where I could have gone, and even now I don't. It's a lot. And in the end, I just hope that the boy is safe. Not because I want him to be safe to free my people. Because, just like me, he didn't choose the life he was given. He didn't choose to become a hunted or royal. It happened. And we're both stuck to fate. And fate has brought us to. And that's what matters. So, I hope he's fine. But if he isn't, King's Head will do.
Damn right. Couldn't have said it better myself.
Kind of a father just tries to murder his own son.
A man who is no father.
Alright.
And you know, if that's how he would treat his own son, I'm not really sure he'd be fit to actually be king. So
You seen these chains? They were put on by him. Not my
they are.
choice.
I mean, they are
Not
pretty cool.
Rufus.
To be not gonna, they are pretty cool though. So
Oh, they may look
Mm.
cool. I just wish they didn't cause me such pain. It, like I said, it's a dreadful past that I don't think I'll ever be rid of. Even if these chains come off me, even if all those people are free, I don't think I'll ever be happy. I wasn't born to be happy. I was born to set things right.
well, I mean, don't I don't know how you see your chains, but to me, I see them as a way to make things right, so you can be happy one day.
You start to notice that his body starts to twitch a little bit. His arms start to spontaneously move. It doesn't look like shivering, but it starts quick little motions that might like it'll turn his head, and you know, it's just those smaller movements that ultimately it looks like he's got jitters of some kind.
Ash is just give him a pat on the back still, because you know.
I wish I knew what I was. Seems to be something we all deal with.
Wait, you don't know what you are?
Well, I know I'm human, but I mean, look at me. I'm a
When I look at
battery.
you, nah. Oh, Cyphus. I think it's pretty obvious to see what you are. You're a hero. You're a defender. You're a leader.
Hero?
You're an adventurer. And you're my friend. Aster's friend. Raditz and Drakus' friend. And Ilphus's friend. And brother, even. We will find him, don't you worry.
I just start to wonder if I'm fit for that title. If hero really is my name. You know, I. It's not the cleanest past, but I had my fair share of wrongdoings. I'm not saying I was put in that prison entirely to blame, but you know, I'm not saying it wasn't entirely not my fault, but
You don't have to defend yourself to me, Cyphus. You're my friend. I trust you, and I don't believe that it was not your fault. And I don't believe it was your fault. Either way, I see you as my brother, and till death, or, you know, our adventuring stops, I'll be by your side.
that's why I'm glad I didn't kill Ilfus first day I saw him. I'm glad I thought maybe. I'm gonna be honest, at first I thought I could use you all. Use you to help me fill my goal. But now I see it's more of you're helping me, which no one ever does. No one helps me just to be nice. People help me because they fear me. Or they
Wow,
help
if you
me because I need to help them. They need to help me. It's awful.
if you grew up with that kind of thought pounded into your head every day, then obviously that would happen. But you know, it just one we'll figure this out. I'm not really sure.
You know,
This is all about past and stuff, so this is kind of awkward for
I
me.
know it's
But
yeah, but I will say, Asta, before everything happened, Ven was a beautiful. Ven was gorgeous. It was. Everything was okay. And I was fine in that orphanage, but I still felt alone. And then I started to feel distant and cold. And eventually, when I was taken, that beautiful image of the world started to crumble and crack like ice. It was almost like you're carving there, Rack. It's except more of the opposite. Your carving starts out lumpy, weird, misshaped, until eventually it's something beautiful, a piece of art. It was like that back twisted form of reality that in the end I saw no meaning to. So I attempted my own life, and it was almost like I couldn't, no matter what I tried. No matter how many times I got knocked down, I couldn't stay down. And it wasn't like I was bringing myself back up. Something else was. Something inside me. I don't know. Weird. Maybe Samuel was wrong. Maybe I'm not the one to free us. Maybe I
Well,
should
Well, of
go
course
back
you're
to that
not.
cell.
With muscles like mine, I would be the one. Eh?
Mm-hmm.
Did he smile at all at that?
A little. It was a little smirk. But overall, you can
Yeah.
still see. You can just emanating from his body, you can feel the pain.
Of course.
I don't know, I've spoken too much. I keep telling people about my past while I can't change my present or future. I mean, I was, and I thought maybe I could earn all of your trust and you'd help me free my people. But
Well, I'm gonna stop you right there, my friend. It's almost a given we're gonna help you.
mhm,
I'm gonna be next to you right along this crazy ride that we've gotten into.
and you'll be there even when I snap the king's neck.
Oh yeah, sounds like he doesn't sound very nice. And I think as funny as it is with the whole carving, with Arrakis's carving, it started out lumpy and ugly, maybe so to say. But deep down, if you keep going at it, you can always just reshape yourself or something into whatever you want it to be. You can, with enough dedication and willpower, reshape anything to be beautiful.
I hadn't thought of it that way. I hope that one day I'll be free. And I don't just mean of these chains. I mean of the things that haunt my mind. Well, whatever the case, let's keep going.
By all means.
Okay.
Hit them up, move them out.
you guys begin heading down. The Travelers Emporium Street, where business is dealt, and you stop in
business.
You stop in front of Blevin Gree's Wondrous Wares, and who enters?
Where are we entering? Wait a minute.
We're at Blevins. You remember the fear block?
I would like to enter.
Okay, so that's
I think we'll all enter.
Raditz. Okay, so everyone enters.
Yeah.
Cyphus, you'll be in the back.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'll be next to Cyphus because you.
Okay. Well, one of you has to enter first because it's not big enough to fit two people at once.
Okay, I'll
The
be
one person
slightly
kind
ahead
of
of
door.
her.
Okay. So you guys begin to enter, and for everyone else who enters, you can see Blevin. You can see Blevin standing there, and next to him, a lot of you see a familiar face. You can see Davin. He's currently in conversation with Blevin. And Cyphus.
Mm-hmm.
As you're beginning to walk in, there's suddenly a hand pressing down on your shoulder, and a lot of weight goes into it, and you turn and you see a bald wood elf with tan skin. She is grabbing your shoulder, and she falls down onto her knees and kind of stands up a little bit, and she looks at you, and you see that her other hand is covering a open wound in her stomach where you see this shadowy essence is seeping out of it. And she says to you, and I'll just say, because of what you know, this is a astral monk.
Mm-hmm.
She looks over to you, directly at you, in your face, and says, "They are in..." And she pauses for a moment.
Where are they?
You need to save him. And she looks at her wound. And Cyphus, roll an intelligence check.
Oh boy. Oh, that's kind of shitty.
I'll say with advantage.
Okay. It's not going to be any better, and you'll see. Oh, that's an unnatural 20.
Okay.
Wait, intelligence, you said?
Yeah.
Or 19.
Okay. So, you look
So
at
I'll-
the wound,
also, real
and
quick,
the shadow...
Instinctively, at saying this, Astra's gonna summon his sword.
Okay. So Aster turns around, and Cyphus... Oh, Aster, I'll say, by the way, just for your instance, you picked up the damn clothes, okay?
I got the clothes! Hell yeah!
I don't want you to go back in and be like, oh,
Yeah.
I forgot my clothes. You have your clothes. Anyway,
Alright, awesome.
you can notice that the shadowy essence that exits her body, the hole in her stomach, is similar to Ilphus's magic. In that, and roll just a general arcana. I mean, it doesn't need to be very high, but you can roll with advantage again.
That's unnecessary. I got a fucking 22.
Okay. You can tell that Ilphus's most cast spell is Firebolt, but is also Shadow Blade, in which he summons a shadowy sword in his hand, and you can deduce that the wound made in her stomach is Ilphus's blade. And she continues to say, while she looks down at the wound, I don't think he meant to do this. They are in... And before she can finish her sentence, she falls onto the cobblestone floor and lets go of your shoulder.
I turn around. Cyphus turns around and he holds both of her arms. Morok! Aster, quickly, come here. I need your help.
I will do so. I'll be there, and I will help.
What's going on?
No.
All right, what do I do?
Get help. She's bleeding. She's dying.
Raditz
Question.
will
I have a-
stumble out of the shop, and he will sit down and put his hands over her back.
Cyphus now is holding her in a almost similar to. Oh, I can't spoil that. I was gonna spoil a movie that came out recently that we all saw. I was gonna spoil that. No, I'm gonna hold her. I'm gonna get on one knee and hold her up so her back is against my arm and leg, and so the wound is open upwards. And I'm gonna hold her head and her arm.
So Raditz goes up to put his hand over the wound, and then he stops, and then he kind of is confused for a second, and then he looks at her, and then he grabs his holy symbol, and he mutters a couple of words, and
Please, right, save her. She holds information, and I don't want her to die on my hands. Not another death.
Give me one moment. The wound in her stomach begins to seal back together, and Raditz he's kind of bumbling at this point. He goes up and he puts 2 fingers to her throat, and he feels around for a little bit.
Is she alive?
In all fairness, I don't know exactly what I'm doing. He rolled a natural 20 though, so he nods his head and yeah.
Is she gonna be alright?
He nods his head again. At which point Blevin comes out, and he kind of
Blevin,
picks her up and takes her inside.
please. Take care of her.
And you see all of his mage hands kind of beckon you closer in. David
I will look.
No clue.
I will
what's
look
going
around
on.
real quick. I'd like to roll perception to see if anyone outside noticed them.
Okay.
Damn, that's only a 7.
You don't catch anyone who There's obviously the common folk who turned to you and like was watching the situation happen, but not many people kind of stopped. Like no one of certain interest stopped and stared at you as it happened.
Cyphus will just look at them and with awe, and after a moment he'll catch himself and say, everything's alright. He'll stand up and say, she'll be fine. Everything's alright. And he'll realize that his chains have instinctively come out without noticing, and he'll pull them back in.
Okay.
Put on his hood and run back inside.
I imagine everyone enters the shop.
Asta would like to ask Blevin. Excuse me. Do you know exactly what happened before we got here?
Blevin, with his hands full, looks at you, and then his mage hands, like he cocks his head to you, and then his mage hands begin signing to you.
Do I know sign?
No, you do not.
Can I guess?
I mean, can you guess symbols? Is what you're telling me?
Yes.
No.
I will say he does have a point. Maybe he can pick up at least something from his hands.
Or playing charades now. Let's do this.
Regardless, he walks over to the door frame for the hideout for the Stardust Syndicate, and one of his mage hands go behind the door frame, and you hear a button click, and it floats away, and fading in is the hideout, and at the table you can see Bardrak with his hands folded, and kind of sitting on the table, back facing your group.
Wait, how are his hands folded?
Jay, oh my god. Evan,
Did you just
have
say
you not
J?
heard that?
Wow, thanks, bud.
Have you not heard that?
I heard arms, but
When
not
you-
hands.
No, your hands can fold. It's called when you compress your fingers.
Put one finger in between each two fingers.
That's what it's
and-
called.
Repeat that.
Wow, I'm stupid. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what cold folding your hands means.
Um,
David would like to say,
Okay.
well, I will say it's quite good seeing you all again, but if I may ask, what the hell is going on here? And he looks more towards Morok as he says that.
In all honesty, I have no clue.
And the individual sitting on Bardrak's table, Sky, if you'd like to describe your character.
Oh boy.
It has begun.
Oh my goodness.
I just hear your Windows noises.
Yeah, I'm just hearing his computer like freeze. Back to David and Morok's conversation.
So like I was saying, I have no idea what's going on.
Oh my god, I have been muted this entire time. I thought I had. I thought I was talking when I was using push to talk.
Yeah, because I kept hearing it. I think-
We just heard like windows open up.
Yeah, I know you did.
Skylar, if you want to describe your character.
Dude, I'm red hot right now, dude. You gotta give me a second, man. Fuck.
All right, we'll start from the top. I have no idea what's going on.
Well, it's good to see all of you.
It's good to see you too.
And the figure you see sitting on Bardrak's table, Sky, if you would like to describe your character.
So my back's currently facing the rest of the party
Yes.
walking in, right? Okay. So from behind, you see this red cap with symbols on the sides that you certainly don't recognize.
Clearly a Red Sox fan.
Shut the fuck up. And you see, flopped over the chair behind her is a long strand of just indigo, dark indigo hair. Yes. And you see a nice little ribbon at the end covered in sky blue and white markings. She looks very relaxed, not alerted to your presence at all, but she overhears the conversation as you guys walk in.
Also, I assume she would see the almost dead body, right?
We're not going to talk about that.
Okay. Not a problem. Okay.
It makes a
Okay.
point.
Okay then. That's the figure you guys sitting at Bardrak's table. And Bardrak was mid-conversation with her and turns to your group. And he stands up and he clears off whatever was on his table, including his pseudo-dragon.
I will ask, does David follow them into the back room?
Does he?
Oh, wait, yeah. Yeah, I guess he'll say to Morok, everything alright back there? Mind if I join you?
Well, of course you can join us, David. Do you plan on adventuring with us?
Yes, of course I do. I do
Well,
have
then,
a
yeah.
little bit of a favor to ask you, as he puts his hand on Morok's shoulder and says, we could talk about it later, but for right now, I would not mind helping you on your quest.
Well, of
Um,
course. Favor for favor, no?
Of course, always. Now, who is everyone in here?
Oh, so that's Aster. That's Rakus.
I remember.
This is over there. And
Mhm,
then
yep.
that's Cyphus. And I don't
Oh,
know who you
James
are.
fellow.
And then
I
I'll point
remember you.
to the new person.
Unknown. I like it. Who are you, mystery person?
By the way, your mic is muted again.
The mystery person is going to turn around and you are instantly going to be aware, if you didn't already, that it is a she.
Okay.
Shut the fuck up. You fucking disappear. As she turns around, you can see, how do I say this? Yellow eyes somewhat piercing through, and you can see that she's got fingerless gloves on her that go up to about her elbow. You can see some scale mail protruding on the shoulders, and the rest is an over-the-shoulder bag with some contents I can't talk about. A nice little side bag on her waist, and some blue and red clothing that the red seems to match with her cap with the same symbols.
And you are?
Oh, my name is Saintina. Can I get your name, please? I'm pretty sure I already know, but it never hurts to double check, right?
Well, I'm Morak. I'm not the leader of the group, but I guess I'm the main voice so far.
Well, it's
That's
a
your
pleasure to meet you, Morak. And she extends out her hand from where she's sitting for a handshake.
Oh, it's nice to meet you too. And he'll like shake her hand. You'll notice that he has like a pretty strong grip, and it's not like he's intentionally squeezing hard. It's just he has a strong grip.
It's
Wow,
just
that's
natural.
Nice grip you got there. You can let go now.
Oh, sorry. Anyways, that's Aster, that's Ilphus, that's Rakis, that's Radis, this is Davin, that's
no,
Blevin.
I already know all your names. Don't worry. I'm not sure who's who.
Cyphus will look over from behind Morik and David and say, "You do."
Yes, I do.
That's a
My
little
brother
creepy.
here told me all about you.
Your brother? Who's your brother?
Bardrak will chime in. She would be my sister.
Wait, you two are related?
Yeah,
I don't see the resemblance.
I told you about, Morak, when you were proofreading my,
Oh, I did. I remember that.
Yeah, I
Like,
told you
"Whoa."
my sister was writing a novel and I was proofreading it for her, and Blevin comes in and places the monk's body on the table, and the monk coughs a little bit, and she sits up immediately.
Oh, thank goodness, she's all right.
Alright, there's a lot going on. I'm starting to feel a little stressed.
You're stressed.
Yes, I don't know why, but it's getting to me. Anyways,
The mighty Morak is stressed. Oh no.
hey,
Bar-
That's the day
fuck
that
you. I suffer from anxiety.
Oh.
He says that out loud from anxiety.
That was a joke. That he didn't
Bardrak,
actually say that.
I'm only nicking your knockers.
Oh, I'm sure.
Bardrak will say, "As you met, this is my sister, Santina.
As she waves towards the rest of the group. Hello.
I've been
Charmed.
watching you with Blevin the entire way, and I know.
Oh, good to know you're spying.
Do you want to say that before I give you helpful information?
No, continue.
I do." And he kind of stares into Cyphus's eyes.
What are you gonna read my past? See that I'm broken and beaten down. Oh, what new party trick do you have for us today?
I do know of these bloodhounds.
David will also turn to Morik and say, "Feisty one, isn't he?"
When he needs to be, yeah?
I like his
Yes,
style.
he's got quite the spirit. I like him.
Barjek will continue. They are the bloodhounds. They are contracted demons, which means you go through a special ritual in order to summon them to do your bidding, and usually you give them something in return. Their leader is a demon prince, and as far as I know, his assassins are people who he has corrupted and manipulated. I've called for my sister because I was worried, and especially so since now I know what happened. She is one of the 3 greatest minds on our continent, next to Professor Darium and an unknown individual.
What do you mean by unknown? Where is he?
They have been hidden, relatively. We don't really know
So-
too much about him.
Wait, you mentioned Professor Darium?
Yeah, there's an agreement upon who the smartest from each of our kingdoms are. The one obviously taking not a vote in this is Syphax, but the three of our kingdoms have put forth candidates to be the quote-unquote greatest minds, people who are capable of solving some world problems.
Cyphus taps Morak on the shoulder and says, "Bunch of fucking nerds."
I mean, pretty much, yeah.
She is one of them, just like Professor Darium, and one that I don't know of yet.
Mm-hmm. Mystery man.
But I thought you knew everything.
Yeah, I thought you knew everything. Morak, you feel another tap on your shoulder from Cyphus.
That's very funny.
Well,
I'm
thank
not
you.
laughing.
I'm somewhat of a joker, you know. I used to be a jester back in my day.
He's got the
Oh,
whole
really?
squad laughing.
Sorry, that actually made me laugh. Sorry, back in character.
Regardless, if this individual on my table would like to speak, and the monk kind of sits up with one knee up and her arm leaning on it, and she says, to follow on the topic of being a stalker, I've also been following you, Cyphus and Ilphus.
Cyphus will look at the rest of the party, including David, and just go. And just kind of do the look around and then point to himself. Me and Ilphus.
Yes.
Oh, good. Cyphus will cast
That's my
Chill
favorite
Touch.
spell.
God, I can't think of it. Cyphus will catch Chill Touch, and he'll hold it near her neck.
Okay. She doesn't flinch, and she says, I protected Ilphus when he was jumped by a thief, a thug.
Oh,
I like this one.
not bad. Alright.
What happened to him?
It'll
Was-
uncast Chill Touch, by the way.
That was before he got to Lyvern, when he met you guys.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Now, I was late in saving him, but
What do you mean by saving him? He was fine until how long? How long ago was did we come back from the port? Was it like a few days?
yeah, it was 2 days ago when you left the port.
And would it be around 3 days ago when he went missing?
Kind of, yeah.
Okay, 2 or 3. So if you were here to protect him, where were you 3 days ago?
If you would let me finish, criminal.
Criminal. What are you listening
I was when you went under when Ilphus went under your protection,
Mm-hmm.
I laid off a bit. I started looking outwards in terms of who was going for him.
Mm-hmm. And what'd you find?
I was away during the night he was taken. However, I did get a good look at them, and suffice to say, they didn't just walk out, they teleported.
Cyphus's eyes will now go full, as they were just normal, like their normal eyes, like with the whites of his eyes. The whites of his eyes and everything else is now turned to a bright, almost blood red.
Okay,
and
so
he'll-
this is where Aster's gonna walk up to Cyphus and just put his hand on his shoulder.
you feel as if almost you're burned on when you touch his shoulder.
That's completely fine.
Cyphus will stare at her and say, "Where did they go?"
Well, I was following them, and I made my move at the at Ulan, one of the other kingdoms here.
Ulan.
Ulan is northeast of here.
Davin will say, "What about Ulan? What's so great about that?"
Well, the night I decided to jump on them, I almost got Ilphus out. They do seem to be a powerful bunch, but how do I... Well,
Come on, spit it out.
there was a masked man there who stopped me and Ilphus from escaping.
A masked man.
Yeah, he had glasses and he had curly gray hair. He stopped us from running and took out a gadget and clicked it. And the next thing I knew, when Ilphus charged at him with his shadow blade, Ilphus had put his blade into my stomach. And, well, I have ways of getting around places fast, so I immediately got out of there once they took Ilphus back. And
how did you know to come here?
sorry, what?
How did you know to come here? Why me? Who do you work for? That's my question.
I don't work for anyone. We
Oh,
are
really?
a part of the faction of the Astral Order.
So you do work for someone.
Actually, I would be the leader of my faction, so I don't work for anyone.
Interesting.
Why are there so many factions?
When you deal
What do
with
they
a
want with the
prince,
prince?
there's a lot of forces that go into it. It doesn't matter regardless, because there are very few of us.
And if I may ask, what part of your organization thought that since you clearly despise me, calling me a criminal, what idea, what allowed you to even for a moment think that I would be a good fit? Why would you think to leave him with me when you clearly so much as can't stand to look at me?
Because I listened to your conversation about how you two would get to Ven and fix everything.
Yeah, no shit. It's my goal. It's always been my goal. Ven will know freedom, and I will become what they fear. I will kill that king and free those people. That's been my goal, and I don't care who knows it.
That is the worst part of it.
Oh, what's so bad about that? Oh, I kill the king.
I don't
So what?
think the king is alive or here.
Oh shit!
What do you mean?
I have my contacts in the king's side of our order. They tell me that this half tiefling, half elf has taken the throne and disguised himself to look like the king.
Oh my
how long?
god!
How long?
Yeah, how long?
Since before the revolution started on your side.
Well, gee, I kind of feel bad for that kid who ran off.
Sorry, this fucking person are laughing at that.
Fuck off.
Regardless.
That's like me as David going, damn, I feel bad for this guy.
Shut the
No, but Cyphus will say. So, let me get this straight. Me. Oh, I'm so sad I'm locked away in this cage for 11 years. How long has that king been actually the king? As of recently? Since I was the first one to break out of that prison? Or was it before? And how long before?
I think the king, the original king, Ilphus's dad, was the one who put you in prison.
Good, because that's the man I'm going to murder.
We don't know where he is.
Okay, and that's not my concern at the moment. Right now, my concern is freeing those people. And if a king stands in my way, no more kings. That's the point. Do you get it? I will not let any king stand in my way.
Perhaps I was wrong to trust you.
Oh heck, Cyphus wants to start a democracy.
Huh. I think it's so bad that I don't even want to rule. I don't want Ilphus as king. It was just an idea so that he would come back. What I want is freedom, and I don't care how I get it. Doesn't matter how many people I kill, as he takes a step closer. How many people I murder, he takes another step closer. How many people I torture, he takes
Oh,
another step
Cyphus.
closer.
Cyphus, be careful. In your
Oh, my.
pursuit, in your pursuit of freedom, you may just enslave yourself.
I'm already a slave. I'm a slave to fate. Fate does not want me free, so I will free others. I am bound to this mission. I am this mission. I am this goal, and I am nothing more. And that's fine. That's all I care to be. Because what I want most are these chains off of me. And
I
sure,
understand that.
I can take them off at any point. Not a problem. But they're a weapon. A symbol of how I will no longer be their slave. I will become my own person. I will be free. I will be powerful.
But Cyphus, I'm asking you to take a step back and look at yourself. If you are,
Morak, do you think I have any more to lose? I've lost my mother, my father, my friends. The only one in my life, other than maybe you. I've known you all for about a good while now. All I have left is myself. Samuel, of course I've got him, but I knew him for 7 years or so. Ever since he got locked up, but don't matter. As he turns back to the monk, he says, I will get my freedom, and I will make sure above all else that that boy is alive. Because I need him. And I can't use him if he's dead. He'll turn away and he'll walk out.
Yeah.
I'll have a friendly chat with him later. I apologize about that.
It's fine. He's a criminal.
He's well, to just label him as a criminal, I feel is dismissive. I
Did
mean,
you hear what he said?
oh, absolutely. I was here for the whole thing. Did you not see me?
And
It's
she'll
just-
hop off the table, kind of stumbling a little bit when she does.
I'll help her steady herself.
Okay. And she...
I'm just very simply saying that, sure, he may have done bad things, and he's probably going to end up doing a couple more bad things. But at the end of the day, he does have a slight point. No matter how vindictive or evil you may believe him to be, he still has a point.
In my personal opinion, I know I don't have much speaking room in here, but I will say I wouldn't want to be a slave. And I do relate to some point where, yes, losing family is hard. And from the looks of it, he just lost some family.
It is what it is. I mean, like I said, I'll talk to him later, but you shouldn't antagonize him, okay?
I leave this job in your hands. My order believes that we should turn our attention to Ven. And I've given you the information I could. They are in Ulan. And
Well, this is a big job.
do you know of anyone with curly gray hair, glasses, kind of has an accent to him?
Who is he, or who is she speaking to at the moment?
Morork.
Curly hair, glasses. I mean, there's a lot of people that fit that description, no?
Trust me, I would know. I've seen plenty of people. Too many people fit that description.
If you want to roll an intelligence check, Morork, or history.
Yes.
Yes.
I will roll history. That is a 23.
Oh my god. Okay. Well, judging from her description, there was one gray, curly-haired, masked figure with glasses on. He had shadows dancing around his waist. He kind of fits a description of a Sean Cunnings.
Aha. So, Ishan Cummings. That is who
Cummings.
she's referring for. That's who she's referencing. Okay. So, I'll just kind of say, perhaps I know somebody.
Is Sean? It's funny.
Alrighty, well,
A sham wow.
I'll be off then.
Well, hold on. That wound, I think you should probably get it seen to.
Blevin will walk over and Blevin will one of his mage hands will float over and hold it over her wound, and then his hand encompasses the mage hand, and
Also, just because I forgot, what race is she?
wood elf.
Okay.
And she looks way better.
Well, may I at least ask where you'll be heading?
I'll be going back to Ven. If Cyphus gets Ilfis and presumably goes back to Ven, I'll be there.
So we'll see you again?
I hope so. By the way, my name's, for your reference,
He immediately pulls out his notebook and pen, and he's like, go on.
Doran Zanin.
Dran Zanin.
Yeah.
Wood elf lady.
Do you normally take notes like that?
Yes, I have a poor memory, unless for some reason it's some obscure thing that I read in the book when Darian was training me. Don't patronize me.
No, I was just gonna ask if you got my description in there. Just wondering if I could.
Well,
take
of
a
course I
look.
do. And he shows you.
Oh, what does it say about David?
Says that he's fun to hang around, likes drinking, has stories, and is overall a cool dude.
Oh, you forgot the smoking part.
Oh yeah, you're totally right. And then he'll mark down smokes, quote unquote, drugs.
It's a lot.
And the
I make a dragon look weak with smoking.
Darren walks out of the shop. Cyphus, I imagine you're waiting in the car outside the shop.
Real quick, he wants to go over to
Hold on, Cyphus.
Mm-hmm.
You're waiting on the cart, yeah?
Yeah.
Exiting the shop, you see Darren, or the wood elf, leave. And as she passes by you on the way to the gate, she kind of glances at you, and then nods at you, and walks away.
Cyphus will nod as she nods, and then just kind of go back to sitting there, doing nothing.
What does Morik want to do?
Crap, I can't remember his name, but the guy that's next to Blevin and is the brother to Santina.
Bardrak?
Bardrak, yeah. He wants to go ask Bardrak real quick. He's going to say, "Hey Bardrak, do you mind if I talk to you in private real quick?"
Not at all.
Good. Is there a private room, or do you want to just...
He turns around and he gets up and he goes to a locked door behind him and he inserts a key and turns and opens it.
Sorry to bother your brother, Santina. It'll be just a moment.
And you enter, and it's a very, it's a clean, it's very stacked and filled with papers, but there is a bed, it's dimly lit, and he goes and sits on the bed, and he says, what is it you need?
So I recently ran into a couple issues. Firstly, you know Ishan.
Yeah, I looked into your past.
Well, let me be frank, I don't think I'll be following up on that job that he's asking of you for us to do.
I figured you wouldn't.
Yeah, just figured I could at least be more direct. Secondly, apparently I have these episodes of anger and outburst. And according to, I guess you could call him my father, but according to him, he says that I did this as a child. Do you perhaps see anything in regards to that in my past?
He'll look for a while into your eyes. And he squints once more, and
Go far back as you need to.
that's no, I don't. I don't see anything of anything particularly happening as the way you describe it.
Well, perhaps you did not go far back enough?
I went the furthest back and started forward, so...
Well, what did you see?
Well... If I saw anything, you were being taught by, Norris is his name?
Yeah.
Yeah, you were being taught by him. Generally taught by everyone in your cathedral. Is it...
Can you see the memories and items, perhaps?
He pauses and I haven't tried, but if you'd like me to try.
He pulls out the axe head of his mother's axe. He's like, "Do you perhaps see anything with this?"
Give me a minute. Unfortunately, I don't think I can look into an item's past. Sorry.
It's okay. Figured I could at least ask, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Make sure you watch my sister, alright?
Well, of course. You're only telling me because I'm the big, strong one of the group, right?
Yeah.
I'll keep an eye on her. Make sure she doesn't get into too much trouble, you know?
Good.
But I don't want to ask a lady her age. What age is she, if you don't mind me asking?
The Santina can hear all this, right?
No, the
No, this
door's
isn't a
shut.
No, they left.
Okay, I'm just making sure.
She's 21.
Okay. So, just as your, well, as her brother, how much would you restrict her to drinking, if you don't mind me asking?
I haven't seen her in a while, so I don't think I should restrict her.
Alright. Well, I'll give her free reign for the most part, but for your sake, I'll keep an eye on her, make sure she doesn't go crazy. But I should ask, what does she do exactly? Like, if we're going to have her along, I don't want her to be defenseless. Can she fight, or what?
She's got magic. She also she's like your friend Raditz. She can imbue items with magic and help you on that front. She also I think she messes with chemicals.
Sounds fun.
Yeah. Magical chemicals, something like a potion maybe.
That'll be useful.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate it, Padre.
Yeah, it's not a problem. And he gets out of it, gets off of sitting on his bed, and he walks towards the door, and he says, "Is that all you'd like to talk about?"
No, but it is all I have to say for now.
And he opens the door and gestures for you to enter the room first.
I will.
All right. You enter back into the lobby of the hideout, and I'll say, does anyone else wait around, or does everyone else head to the cart?
Carson, you know the answer to what I'm asking.
While waiting for Morark?
Yeah.
Or okay, yeah, I'll head back to the cart.
Okay.
Work on your dragon.
I wanted to like wait and actually talk to this man's again, the brother.
Okay.
And
So Morik and Barjack walk back in, and Barjack locks his door again.
whew. Wait a minute. So did Bardrak, the person who I want to talk to, just lock his door?
Lock the door behind him, Evan.
Okay, I'm retarded. Hello.
Hello, Aster.
Hey, can you try reading me again to see if anything changed?
Sure.
Alright, I'll like hold my hands out or something, whatever.
I don't need your hands.
Okay,
Just
you know,
look into my eyes.
I will look deep into his soulful eyes.
A minute later, he kind of backs away and shakes his head, and it's hard. I mean, there's something that's stopping me from viewing everything about your past. I just keep seeing the female figure on the ship. I only see the part I was able to see.
What do you know And the female figure, it's what was the hair color and eye color again?
Her hair was
Uh,
gray,
Oh,
and her eyes, they were golden.
Golden wing.
And was there anything else? Is there anything else just odd about her that stands out?
Can't place it, no. I'm sorry.
Like maybe I don't know, weird looking wings.
If you'd like me to try again, I can.
By all means, I'll look back into those soulful eyes.
He shakes his head again and he says, "No, I can't find it."
Okay, thank you. Sorry for the trouble about it. It's kind of like my only lead though. So
I understand. Regardless, if that's all, I'd like to talk to my sister alone for a moment before she leaves.
all right, by all means, I'll
Mark
go.
Mark
I'll
will
go
have, by
cart.
this time, by the way, already stepped out towards the carts.
Okay. And eventually, it's just Bardrak and Santina.
Oh yeah, it is. Do you want to just go right to it, Kristen, or do you want to have everyone just kind of like?
Just go right to it.
Okay. Santina being the only one left is she's gonna watch everyone else kind of leave and look back at Bardrak. So, I guess this is gonna be a while since we see each other again.
Yeah, indeed. Don't die out there.
Of course I won't die. I wouldn't leave this earth for the world. If that makes sense.
That was an interesting sentence.
That's...
And he says, "Here, give me a moment." And you see his hand close, and it opens back up, and you see there's 3 platinum sitting in his hand, and he holds it out to you, and he says, "For the road."
Of course. And she's going to reach in and take the 3 platinum and stuff it into her bag.
And he'll put his hand on your shoulder, and he says, "Good luck out there. I have high hopes for you."
I have high hopes for myself as well. I mean, I've kind of built myself up for this, I guess, something bigger than myself.
Yeah. Well, I wish you luck.
Thank you. And she's going to walk over to your side of the table and hug you.
And he'll return the hug, and Blevin will also come over and hug you two as well. And eventually you all let go, and I imagine you walk towards the door.
Yep.
And Bardrak and Blevin wave goodbye to you.
I'm going to turn around and wave goodbye as well.
And you click the door button, and you see the shop fade into existence. And you walk out and leave. And you walk out, and you see a cart with 2 horses adorning it. In the cart, you see a group of very weird figures, people you had just met. And what do you do?
Santina is going to take a deep breath and then slowly get onto the cart.
All right.
That was your first mistake.
Shut up, Evan.
Santina, for the rest of you, boards onto your cart, and Fiverr looks around and he says, "Are you ready?"
As far as I'm aware.
It's
All
good.
right.
Morak's gonna go over to Santina real quick. He's going to say, "Alright, Santina, just so you know, your brother has entrusted me with guarding you, to keep an eye on you."
Oh, good. I'm glad that someone with a strong grip such as yourself is going to be watching over me in the meantime.
Strong grip indeed, David says.
Oh, shut up.
Uh,
Anyways, yeah, just if you need something, just holler at me.
Will do.
Have you ever been adventuring before?
Not necessarily, no. I've kind of been cooped up in a building for a lot of my life, studying mainly.
Okay. Little pieces of advice to give. You see that person, and he's gonna point to Aster.
I do, yes.
Do you remember his name?
I wave my hand. Wait a minute.
I think I do. Give me a minute.
Okay.
She's going to think for a minute, look like she's pondering before coming to a conclusion. That's, Aster, right?
Yes, Aster Stav. Aster Stav is very nice. He's a very nice person. Don't be as nice as him.
Oh,
It will be a little too forward with people, and generally they will not appreciate it. Now, do you
Aster's not
see?
very sad.
Don't worry, Aster. We only need one of you. We, want to keep you unique, you know?
Aster doesn't know what to feel about the situation.
Anyways, you see that person, and he's pointing to Cyphus now.
Uh-oh.
Yes, I do.
Okay, do you remember his name?
Yes, that's Cyphus.
Okay.
Cyphus will
Cyphus.
look up at hearing his name. But he won't say anything.
Cyphus is a good person. His heart is in the right place, but at times he can let his emotions run a little too high.
They call me cold, and that's because of the... And then he'll open his palm, spit into it, and you'll see the water in his hand, the spit, turn into ice.
That is disgusting, by the way.
Santina's going to look at you spit and then see the spit just kind of turn to ice. She's gonna pull out a notebook and jot something down.
Now, as you can see, he's very cold.
Yes, I
Don't
think-
be as distant as he is from most people, because then people will generally treat you as suspicious or
How does he
maybe
know about us?
untrustworthy. That is a good question, but I don't know if she needs to answer it right now.
No,
No, it's fine. I can answer it. My brother's only told me so much from what he knows about you, so what he knows, I know.
so you know of everything of Ven.
Yes, I do.
Interesting. He'll go back to sitting, and he'll actually pop out his book, and he'll start to flip through it.
Alright, in last lesson, you see this person, right? Well, this thing, I guess you could call me. And he'll point to himself.
Yes, I do.
Do you remember my name?
Yes, you're Mark.
Right. And whenever you're in trouble or you need something, who will you ask for?
You.
Exactly. That's simple.
Oh, well, I'm glad I passed the quiz.
Just stay in between Cyphus's mood and Aster's mood, and you'll be just fine.
I'll do my best. I can't guarantee anything.
David hits, he grabs Morak by the shoulder and says, "Where do I lie?"
Yurai, I don't know, you're special. You have the lightheartedness of Aster, but not the naivety.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
And what else do
Generally,
I
I think
possess?
Let me ask you, David, are you a narcissist?
Am I a narcissist? I don't like to think of myself that way. I think, and you'll see that he'll pull his blade out. Shing!
God,
God damn it.
I started it once.
Got him!
He'll pull his blade out, and he'll start to more of twirl it. I'm not defined by who I am. I'm defined by what I can do. See this blade here? It's a blade throughout my family's generation. Protects us. But surprisingly, couldn't protect my father. That's why he died. He'll put his blade back. He says, there's a reason why he died. And there's a reason why all of us die. And I believe that, you know. And he sort of stops and he looks at Santina and he goes, you seem familiar. Have I met you before?
Santina's gonna look over David and think for a minute again as she.
Let me make this clear too. You see a remarkably handsome, chiseled man.
Right. Yeah, I got that. Yeah.
He's pretty damn attractive, and he has some
Yep.
and everything. And he just looks at you with more of a questioning look.
And then she thinks for a moment, and then comes to a very quick conclusion. Oh, you're David.
Yes, that is true. Probably met once or twice before.
Yes, I believe we met when I was visiting my brother here.
I've been here a few times. I came back though because I realized that, well, Morak, now is kind of the time I can explain it to you. For the most part. Shit, I have to find it.
Take your time.
Well, anyways, most people in the group will treat you with respect as long as you respect them.
Right.
I'll just give her like a little pat on the shoulder and then say, "Welcome aboard." And then we'll start walking alongside the cart.
Okay.
Did you pin it in our messages, Carson?
Yes, I did pin. You pinned it. You pinned it yourself. Let me tell you. It's
The David message?
Oh, I didn't. No, I didn't ping all the information. Your new information. No.
Okay, that's what I was wondering.
Anyway.
Okay, here it is. I got it.
Okay.
And real quick before you say that, I do want to finish with Morak and just say, we've hit the limit of 50 pings in this channel. Can you believe that? Damn it! We gotta remove some pings. So he'll say to David will say to Morak, he says, "So I come bearing some more bad news.
Shocker! What is it?
I come from Ulan, you know, northeastern region, and well, a few demons have come up in our town, and I'm gonna need help of more than just my blade."
You're going to need my blade as well.
I like the sound of that. And Raditz could, you know, always make us new blades if something goes wrong.
What? With my blade? No. My blade could last 10 millions, cuts, and it would still cut the same.
Well, mine will last 1,000,001. We'll just have to put that to test.
Understandable. Challenge accepted.
Okay.
So we're heading to Nuan? Or
Ulan.
Oh, Ulan.
So, coincidentally, where we're going.
How far is that journey?
So I will say, actually, David, you have a world map. So Morak, if you'd like to look.
He
at
has
the
the world map? I do have this in my bag.
How funny of it.
Wait,
He
so-
pulls out the map.
Wait. Say again, Lucky. What'd you say?
So David has the world map. So if you want to look in the general chat in the pinned messages, there's the world map. Ulan is the right
Northeastern
above
region.
Stella Wall, from Stella Wall.
All right.
And so David will pull out the map and say, "See Ulan right there? That's where we're going." Because that is where your friend is, right?
Well, I assume so. To be honest, the whole thing is kind of still confusing to me. I'm still trying to get back on my feet after my little, I'll use air quotes, episode.
Mhm.
So,
What was that like? Let me ask.
it's kind of hard to describe. It's like I was in the third person the entire time, but felt like I had control over myself.
Hmm. Interesting.
I don't know. You'll realize myself.
Well,
I get mean, I guess you could say.
I mean, I can get pretty mean myself, but I will say, um. So, what's all your stories?
And as you say that, you guys exit the. You guys exit, and weirdly, as you're leaving, you see a figure begins to walk towards you. And if Caden would like to describe his character.
Wow, that was so well timed. What the fuck? Is this allowed? What the fuck? Is this allowed?
Hello.
Hi.
Hello there.
Howdy!
So
That is not Mark.
Inaba, as you're kind of walking up to Najima, you see this cart of travelers moving towards you, and they catch your interest a little bit.
So do you just want me to describe her now?
Yeah, the party does see you, so if you'd like to describe Inaba.
Okay.
By the way, where we're kind of standing, or where we're kind of sitting in the cart, David will sit at like the end of the cart, like more towards the opening as he can, with Morak to his left, just to make that clear. So David is the one like looking out before like everyone else will be able to see the most.
Well, Morak is walking alongside the cart. He always walks along.
Oh, is he? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Then I guess David will be walking with him. My bad. I thought you were sitting in the cart.
No, Morak always walks alongside it.
Okay, David will walk with him. My bad.
All good.
Okay, so I guess somebody that catches your interest would be a small-looking, green-skinned, blue-eyed creature. She has a hood on, and she has a small satchel. And she actually, the stuff that the clothes itself that she has, they look like they're scarred. There's rips and tears, satches. Her satchel especially has patches all over it, and she looks kind of down in the dumps.
Does she look like a goblin?
No. You could probably mistake her for one. Yeah.
So you could mistake her for a goblin.
Yeah, you could.
Alright, Morak will draw his sword. And seeing her, he'll say, "Hello there, little goblin creature. What are you doing?"
Being rather down in the dumps. How about you?
Well, we're traveling here. Are you here to raid us? Are you going to ambush us up ahead or something?
No, not especially. Well, I was looking for some guards, honestly.
What are you
Guards?
Well, I've been, as you can see, she doesn't really have anything on her. By the way, I don't know. I don't think I mentioned that. I've been raided before. Some people took my things, so I'd rather not make that mistake again on the way back.
Oh, well,
And you look to be quite the fine example of a guard, with drawing your sword at me and all.
well, what is it with people complimenting me today? Anyways,
I mean, look at you. You're a fine man.
I am a half-orc and not the man. He'll sheath his sword. Anyways,
Are
mean-
are you okay? Do you need any food or water?
No,
Naba?
I'm okay. I have I've been able to survive myself, or survive out in the wilds.
How
So
do you
you're
survive
just-
with no food and water?
I have food and water. That's what's in the
Oh.
satchel.
My mistake.
But so you're just looking for somebody to guard you?
Yeah, to get back to my hometown.
Where is that?
Is it that way? And he'll point to the way that we're walking right now.
Um. It would. Yeah, it's Ulan. Ulan.
Oh, that's
Ulan.
where we're heading.
Exactly where we're heading.
Oh.
If I may ask, where in Ulan are you from? More of the inner city works or more of the outskirts?
I'm just in a simple village, on the outskirts for the most part.
Same.
If you
At least
don't
that's where I
mind
hail
me,
from.
yeah, if you don't mind me asking, and not to offend you, but what are you?
She'll pull back her hood. She has horns.
Ah, horns. Quite interesting.
Are you a tiefling?
Half breed of sorts. Tiefling, halfling.
Oh, well, it's a pleasure to meet you. Sorry for mistaking you for a goblinoid.
No, it happens quite a bit. Tiefling.
Taffling.
That works.
Well, I guess if you really want to, there might be room in the cart if you want to bunk with us, I guess you could say.
Well, if that's all right. I don't have much money on me at the moment, but when we get there, I can pay you.
You know, don't really worry about it that much.
Should be fine. I mean, I'm traveling with them for free, aren't I?
Well, favor for favor.
Of course.
You guys sound like you have some history.
A little bit.
Not too much. Very short, but extensive at the same time.
I've got history with pretty much everyone in this world. Now, I will say, though, if you do climb to the back there, and he'll lean in and whisper, be careful of the guy with chains.
Huh.
Yeah, just don't antagonize him. That's simple.
Seems to have been through a lot.
Okay.
What is your name?
Anaba.
Well,
Not
Naba. I'm Mordark.
Davin.
Can I get a brief description of what your characters look like, by the way?
Yeah, sure. You go
So,
first.
I heard
Okay.
Morark say he's a half orc.
yeah, so he's a half orc. He looks like the type of half orc that would be more human-esque, but his orangish skin kind of gives away that he's a half orc, and he has little tusks.
Yeah.
He's got brown hair that's basically in a ponytail into a it's dreadlocks. He's about 6'7", 6'8"-ish. He's very bulky. He carries 2 great swords on him, and he has like a leather jacket, some half plate on him, and the jacket has like chainmail woven into it. And you see some climbing gear that's woven into his arsenal as well.
Cool.
And you see a little symbol hanging from his belt that looks like a symbol of some sort of religion.
Oh, okay.
Next to him, you see a taller, or I should say, a 6'1",
That's
half
pretty
wood
tall,
elf.
yeah. Wait, you're taller
got-
than a half orc?
He's 6'1", yes.
Holy shit. Okay.
Yeah, Mork 6'7".
You're
he's
like,
6'1".
you're like 3 times the size of me, I think.
He's you can see that he has like long brown hair, normal white skin, hazel eyes, and seems to be a little built. You can see at least he's got some bulk on him. He also carries a large, almost katana-like sword on his right side.
Indigo
that
shin.
and he always has his hand on it. So.
Okay.
And also, you can see strapped to his chest, you could see what appears to be almost like small pipes. And that would
Okay.
be pretty much its simple adventuring clothes, and he walks along next to him. So it's nice to meet you, Anabu.
Nice to meet you too. She
who's-
does refrain from shaking her hand. If you do go to shake it, of course.
As Davin goes to shake
Max is
her
gonna
hand.
shake that fucking hand.
Davin will then immediately start to shake his own hand and like he'll clasp his hands and shake it, and then put his hand back on his sword.
Sorry, I'm just not into the whole
It's
shaking
understandable.
hands business. Too many
Trust me.
pickpockets.
I come from many different places. I've seen a shifty person, and I know what they're like.
Yeah.
If you travel a lot, it's pretty easy to pick the ones out. But I'm glad that you're aware on your wits. Who's driving the cart, by the way? Is it Raditz?
Raditz and
Tyler one
Fiverr-
meme incoming.
Raditz and Fiverr sit in the front of the cart and drive it.
Raditz, Fiverr. You don't mind if a Naba here joins us, do you?
Fiverr shakes his head and he says, I don't mind.
Seems like you've been okayed. If you want to hop on.
She will proceed to
or-
do so.
Forewarning though. Just a heads up, danger tends to follow us. So be prepared.
Well, I mean, if you just look at me, you can tell I've been through quite a bit myself.
Well, I'm sure. But like a few nights ago we got attacked by some weird necrotic creature, a werewolf, and a zombie.
Oh, really? You should tell me about that story. Tell you about
All
the
at
fight.
once, or?
Yeah, all at once. It was pretty cool. Thankfully none of us died though.
Huh.
Well, I
She
certainly
will-
didn't.
Proceed to sit on the cart a little bit more warefully.
I should tell you about the time I took on a whole fleet of half-orcs all by myself.
Maybe
More
this
rabid
was a
ones,
bad
I will
idea.
say.
Did I tell you about the time I killed the dragon?
Oh, you killed a dragon.
Well, it was a
Tell you
worm.
about the time I killed two.
I don't know if you did that.
So, I would like, so this is how it's gonna work. While you guys are traveling to Ulan, I would like you to make, one of you each time I ask to make a survival or investigation check to continue onward. You can roll with advantage. You can roll with advantage if you, since you have the map from Davin.
I got a 15 plus a 4 in investigation. That's a 19.
Well, I guess we'll use Morak.
I got a 21 in survival.
It was
on
meant
my
to be.
first-
It was meant to be one person, but
Oh, was it? Oh, I was gonna say. I was gonna say since.
I mean,
You
it
know,
doesn't
David
matter
kind of
to
already
me.
knows this way. I mean, let's see what else I get. Yeah, so I got a 21 in survival. If we want to use that instead.
I mean, that's fine. Will it make any difference?
Already.
That's good.
no. I'll say
not
even.
Works with the profile pic.
Okay.
It does.
Yeah.
So,
The world though.
your
You
first.
think you can match my powers?
Your first day of travel towards Oolong goes fairly well.
Carson, can I do the thing I wanted to do though?
Yeah,
as
sure.
well? Okay, so while we're on the cart,
Wait a minute, only like 2 of us gave descriptions. Like,
Well, if you want to, I was just saying, I need you to do this now so I know if something happens.
okay, I guess we can do that later then. So,
No, you can do it right now. I just need to know if something happens.
okay. Well, for Aster, it's dead simple. It looks pretty much like your average height human, with golden blonde hair and really light blue eyes, but like the mix between sky blue and turquoise kind of.
Okay.
And obviously also not obviously, but Caucasian, and that he looks pretty much like your standard human, from what you can see at least. And that's it, easy.
So that was Evan, Morak, Davin.
Caden already knows what I look like, so don't worry about it for me.
Yeah.
Okay,
And then I guess it's just Rakus and Cyphus left, right?
and Raditz.
Yeah.
Uh,
And Raditz, yeah.
Raditz is a hobgoblin who wears a black apron at all times and long rubber gloves. He's got a black smear on his face, from working with something, and he seems to kind of be one of the coachmen for the cart. And then Rakis and Cyphus, if you'd like to describe yourselves.
You want to go first, Cyphus?
Sure, I'll go first. You see sitting in the far back corner of the cart a man with long black hair that covers most of his face, ripped off sleeves of his shirt, a black more of like tunic over it, but you can see the chainmail on top of that, as well as you can see what seem to be like almost braces on his wrists, like metal braces or shackles, as they just kind of sit there resting on his wrists that almost seem to look like ice. As well as you'll notice that his veins very much protrude out of him, and they almost look blue, like light blue, as he sits hunched over, looking at the floor, twiddling his thumbs with pretty much normal, like tattered clothing.
Okay.
And then Rakis Savant.
So as soon as everyone gets back in the cart, he's sitting there with wood carving tools and a almost completed dragon wooden sculpture. He is a male tiefling, blue skin, wavy green kelp hair. He has a green crystal around his neck, and he has a large red sash going across, similar to like a sailor. That's pretty much it.
Okay.
All right. So, on your journey, Santina, if you'd like to do what you wanted to do.
Yep. So, everyone's at the cart now. Santina is going to reach into her bag and pull out an empty. Hold on, let me make sure I got it right. It is a bottle, a glass bottle, and she's going to put her hand up to it when she pulls it out. And after a few minutes, hold on a second. All right, I'd say that. I gotta pull it back up. Shit. Oh, 1 second. I gotta find it.
Do 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 do.
Shit, I forgot what it was under. There's like 20 things I have to look at here. Forgive me. Here we go. I got it. Yep. Let's say that. The elixir, an elixir substance starts to form into the bottle, and it turns a bit white, I guess you could say, a bit more of like a whiter substance, not quite water, but a bit more.
It's like contaminated water. Unfiltered
Yeah, it
water.
kind of looks like that. And she's going to look at the bottle very closely.
All right. Raditz will raise an eyebrow to what you're doing, and then he'll continue back to manning the horses. Everyone sees that, by the way. So, for Morak's role, as you're traveling along for the first day, which, let me do some quick maths here.
Quick math.
Pop pop.
Zip zop boobity bop.
Okay. So, and now I need to pull up a calculator. This is some serious math.
Oh boy.
Okay. Ooh.
Quick
So,
maths.
Square root of 16.
Of this, about, I'd say a week journey. The first day, you're traveling along the road, and the first thing you see, strangely, on the road is scratched into the dust on the road are the words, and you're kind of passing over it, but good luck tomorrow. You're gonna need it.
What does the handwriting look like?
Like it was kind of just with the stick kind of just put into the dirt road.
No, I mean like, what style is it? Like, you know, you go into Microsoft Word and you're like Times New Roman.
It's Comic Sans.
Don't tell me it actually is fucking
no.
Comic Sans.
No. It doesn't have an exact like writing style.
But have I seen it before?
No.
No, I haven't.
No.
Can I roll history?
You don't know.
What is
is
all that
this?
noise?
What is going on?
Rackus is
You have
having
an ice cream machine in your room, dude? Holy shit.
Yeah, Jesus.
He works the cotton candy stand.
Yeah.
I just heard like an engine turn on.
I have no idea. I have no idea. My table just started vibrating.
Oh god, it's an earthquake! Oh my god.
This might have been an earthquake.
I can't wait to feel it next. Here we go.
Anyway,
Boy, here I go.
So I haven't seen it before.
you haven't seen it before, and I don't think a history check would get you it, but
I trust your judgment.
you pass over it, and the day goes by uneventful.
Ooh.
You set up camp for the night.
Or do we?
You,
Ba, ba,
you set up camp for the night, and is there anything anyone would like to do?
Mark is going to clean his swords
Okay.
and armor.
Okay.
Anaba is fiddling with something. You can't tell what though, because it's in her cloak.
So where is Cyphus right now? Just a quick question.
Just chilling in the back of the cart, just
Okay.
chilling.
Centine's gonna head to the back of the cart after helping set up the little camp, and tap him on his side.
Mm-hmm. Honey?
Hello, Cyphus, right?
Yeah.
Sorry if this is a bit out of the blue, but I need you to test something for me. You see, I made this earlier, and I need to make sure it's made right, and she's gonna pull out the elixir that she made earlier.
Does he have erectile dysfunction? Is that what's happening here?
It's not poisoned or anything, I promise.
They've made Viagra.
Cypher's just gonna just stare at her.
Please?
So you want me to drink this?
Yes, I do.
He'll grab the bottle and say, "Oh, well, this wouldn't be the first time I've been experimented on." Open it up. What does it taste like when he starts to drink it?
You ever know the some kind of foul kind of tasting medicine?
Cherry cola.
Oh, what's in that?
It's you see, I still have yet to figure out how these elixirs I make work, but I'm assuming it's because of all my studies.
Oh,
Can you tell me how you feel?
I feel like my mouth has been violated, but
Could you get out of the cart and stand up for me?
sure, why not? He'll stand up and walk out.
And if you could walk about 5 feet in front of you.
All right. Cyphus will walk 5 feet in front of him.
As you walk, you notice that your footsteps are a lot faster, and all your movements are a lot faster, making your way across.
He'll start to move his feet around like you do on, you know, when you move your feet on like carpet to get the static feel of it. Just
Yeah.
moving back and forth. It's kind of what he's doing right now, getting a feel for it. His legs just feel faster.
Can you tell me how you feel now?
I would say the wood is mobile, but what is this? As he holds the bottle still.
If I'm not mistaken, according to my research, it should be an elixir that makes you go faster. I'm not sure the exact statistics of it, but you get what I mean.
You're into elixirs. And
Yes,
potions.
I have a whole alchemy kit in my bag, and she'll open it up briefly to show you the kit.
Do you mind if I see?
Sure, of course. And she'll sit down and pull it out and set it on the ground. Everything prepared.
Can I roll to see if I know how to make anything?
No. Unless you have
I-
proficiency with alchemist supplies?
I do.
Okay, so does she have materials laid out? I guess is my first question.
Yes.
Okay.
Alright.
Then Cyphus, you can roll an intelligence plus proficiency bonus check.
Fuck yeah. Oh, that was a skill. Okay. I got intelligence plus Alright, I got a 17.
Okay. It takes you about an hour. And you procure through a mix of some of her materials she provided for you. I'll say let's just call it a, actually, you know what? I'll make this more fun. Hold on.
While you find out what it is, Cyphers will say, I've got it. There we go.
And Santina's writing down notes as she watches you fiddle around with the supplies laid out in front of you.
So, yeah. He'll take it and just say, here you go.
Santina will quickly close her notebook and take it's another elixir, right?
It's,
Gotcha. And
yes.
she'll look at it.
Is it another elixir or is it something else?
Give me one moment. Okay.
She'll look at it. What color is the elixir?
What do they make?
It is blue. And if you'd like to roll your alchemy supplies, Skylar, you can find out what it does.
Gotcha. So what do I roll for that?
It's intelligence plus your proficiency bonus.
Gotcha.
It's
Just intelligence in general, right?
Yeah, your intelligence modifier plus your proficiency bonus.
That is a 15.
Okay. So you can procure that the potion for the next, if consumed, for the next 2 hours, will grant the user +1 to attack rolls.
it's something I learned.
Do you mind if I drink it? I mean, it's only fair since you drank what I made, right?
I wouldn't recommend that.
Are you sure?
Just
I mean, I know what it does. I'm just saying.
You do?
Yes. Do you not know?
No, I don't know what. I know how to make a few, but I don't know if your brother told you this, but when I was a slave when I was locked away. I was experimented on. One thing they allowed me to do was create potions. They didn't let me know what it was. They thought that somewhere within my blood. I wonder what does that do exactly?
Uh, Jay, you're talking about the potion I have in my hand, right?
Yeah,
Okay,
potion
I
that
just
he
wanna check.
made.
From
He
what I
points to it.
gather from watching you create it, it seems to be some sort of something to do with strength. Uh, regarding, I'd assume anything damage related. You know, things. If you're hurting something, it pack a little bit more oomph behind it. You know.
What if I did this? He'll grab it from her. He'll open it up. He'll hold his wrist over it, over the opening. Close his eyes for a few moments. He'll start to visibly feel pain, and he'll drop a few drops of blood into it. Closes it back up. What will that do to it?
Well, I don't know. I've never really thought of that. She pulls out her notebook and starts writing something down. Carson, what happens to the potion?
I'll say when he drops the
It gets edgier.
when he drops his blood into it and he mixes around it, it mixes around for a little bit. You see the liquid kind of get slushier and kind of moves with a little slow to it, a little drag. And would you like to make another alchemy tools check to figure out what that does?
Yes, please. $17.
Okay. Now, when drinking, it grants a +1 bonus to hit, and when your melee attack hits, it deals an extra 1 point of cold damage.
Ooh. Do I? So and I can gather all that just by looking at it, right?
Yes.
Gotcha.
Well, actually,
Oh.
rather, you kind of dip your finger into the bottle, take a small bit of it out and put it on your tongue, and it kind of stings when you put it on your tongue.
That's very cold.
And then you can deduce it from there.
I'm
All
sorry.
right. So, do you have any cold powers? I'm pretty sure I saw you cast something with the elf lady back when we first met.
Spit back into his hand.
Oh right, I forgot that I wrote that down. How clumsy of me.
Turns to ice immediately. Look, it's something that they did. I don't know what it is per se, but everything that they ever did to me was, no matter what they made, they added a bit of me to it. So I don't know. I don't know what it means, but
Well, I can certainly tell you that you have a knack for this sort of stuff. I thought I was the only one.
that's pretty easy when you've watched people do it on you for, years.
Yes, I can understand that. Santina is gonna open up her big bag and slowly put the slushy substance into it and close it back up. I'll probably be saving this for later if you don't mind.
It's not a problem. It was once a part of me, and now it's not.
If you don't mind, I'd actually like to work on this some more some other time. See what kind of other creations we can come up with. I'm excited to write this all down.
I mean, go for it.
However, for the moment, I am very tired, so I hope you don't mind if I pack up. And she starts putting everything back into her bag.
It's not a problem. Cyphus will just go back to where he was and just sit.
And Santina's gonna finish packing everything up, close her bag, and now, do we have tents or what do we have, Carson?
You do not have tents. You kind of just have your bedrolls and you lay it out next to the campfire,
Cart.
Okay.
or the cart. And
Alright.
Santina, I'll say a special case for you.
Mm-hmm.
Roll an intelligence check.
Gotcha.
I have a feeling you know what this is gonna be about. Did you say 8?
18.
Oh. Okay.
I thought it was an 8.
Looking around, if you're attempting to look for some cover from the sky, you can deduce there's enough space to get under the cart and use that as a way to protect the sky from you.
Okay. Should I go into the you-know-what, or...
That's up to you.
You know what? I think we'll hold off on that, and I'll just kind of crawl under the cart.
Okay.
So Cyphus was sitting in the cart. Now that he's back in the cart, does he hear her at all?
Is Santina trying to be stealthy about it?
Well, she has a disadvantage to stealth, so certainly not.
Okay. Yeah, you do hear kind of the light pressing of grass.
Someone moving underneath me.
Yeah.
Cyphus will walk out and he'll look below the cart. You alright?
Oh, yes, I am. And she's going to take off her bags and set them a bit away from her, still under the cart.
Mhm.
Is there a reason why you're
No
there?
worries.
And
I'm just used to having a roof over my head, I guess you could say.
do you want to sleep in the tent? In the cart?
Oh, no, it's fine. I prefer to sleep under it, thank you.
You prefer to sleep under the cart rather than in the cart?
Yes, that is what I said, isn't it?
No, I mean, just more or less confused because inside of the cart does have a roof, so
Oh, no, it's fine. Trust me, underneath is better for me.
alright. Well, no, that's a problem. Cyphus will look oddly confused and then just sit back inside the cart and kind of just sit there and question things.
Rackus. You're kind
Yeah.
of continuing to wood carve. Where are you, by the way? Are you at the campfire?
Yeah, I'll probably just be kind of laying near the campfire.
You see Anaba across from you. She's fiddling with something in her jacket. And as you
Okay.
kind of look up at her for a quick moment, you feel more chills go down your spine. And for the briefest moment when you blink, you feel a sense of familiarity. When you look at her, you see what Fiverr described to you. This kind of dark, tentacly creature floating behind her. And this kind of energy seeps from her. And then you blink again and it's gone.
I see.
Is Morg positioned in a way to, well, he wants to set up his encampment, not like overly close to Santina, but close enough to where if another instance like, the werewolf incident happens, he can protect her if needed.
Okay.
I-
You
I-
can... Yeah.
I was gonna say, how far away is like the fire from the cart itself?
Like 15 feet.
15 feet. So if David sat like in the middle of that, he would have everyone within a 30-foot radius. You would say.
Yeah.
Okay. So David will turn to Mora because he sees him get up, and he'll say, "What's the matter?"
I just want to be in a good position should anything go wrong.
Ah, don't worry about that. As he'll pull out his blade, shing! You'll see that the katana he wields starts to turn it around and everything, and he'll say, "As this sword's been in my family for generations, there's no worry. I've never been attacked with a sword. I went Cyphus with that. I've never been attacked with a sword. You know, not a problem. We won't get ambushed.
I don't know about that.
Trust
Seeing as
me.
you fight a lot of things, I'm sure you've gotten, attacked by something.
Not ever startled. Nothing's ever been able to sneak up on me.
Well, I'm sure about that, but things will still attack you, no?
Of course, but at least we don't have to worry.
Yeah,
So
but
if someone tries to ambush us, or if anyone tries to, you know, sneak up, we'll have the first blow.
well, regardless, I still want to be in a position to protect my charge should I need to, you know?
Of course, I understand. But I assume since in a large group you would have multiple people standing guard.
Well, yeah, but still, it helps to have that little less space, between me and my charge.
Oh, no, I trust me, Morak, I'm aware. But at least, and I'll say this more out loud, everyone can rest easy tonight. There's no way that we can get snuck upon.
Well, David, I hope you sleep well.
I will. I always do.
Well, good on you.
I hope you sleep well too.
I always do.
David
Marco,
will pack up
you go
everything.
first.
I was gonna say, David is just gonna pack up everything.
All right.
Put his sword
He's
away.
fucking out of here, dude. He's packing up. He's out of here. See ya. That's what's
Marco
happening.
just sit back down on his little bed, and he'll just continue cleaning his.
Okay.
Once his equipment is cleaned, then he'll lay down for the.
The night
With his sword unsheathed.
passes by uneventfully. Uneventfully. Sorry. Everyone wakes up in the morning. Minus. Arrakis, roll a perception check for me.
I got a 10.
Okay. You kind of take a quick moment, break through the middle of the night, and kind of glance around, and your eyes kind of look underneath the cart, and there you can see this kind of fox-like creature curled into a ball, its head resting on its paws, and it's sleeping under the cart.
How big is it?
I think it's about the size. Let me double check real quick. Um, okay. So It's about the same size as a fox. So it's not massive, but it's the same size as a fox.
Okay, I'll just keep an eye on it, but I'm not gonna bother it.
Okay. Eventually, everyone wakes up. And
Well, does David realize that Rakus hasn't slept when he wakes up?
um, yes, I'd say.
Okay. When David awakes and he notices this, he'll say to Rakus, "Were you keeping guard all night?"
I guess you could say so, yeah.
I mean, why? We're safe.
I wasn't just keeping watch. I was working. I was carving.
Mind if I see?
Sure. At this point, would the dragon
Yes.
sculpture be complete?
It would be.
Boom.
Ah, nice. I like it. Interesting. You've got quite the craftsmanship.
Well, since I just finished this one, what do you think I should make next?
Well, is there something you hold near and dear to your heart?
Not
You haven't sculpted
particularly.
ready? Why is that?
I don't know. I guess there's not too much to be dear of.
I hope you don't mind me asking these questions, but how come? John?
Wait, what was what you said? I feel.
I asked, how come there's nothing near and dear to your heart?
I don't know. I mean, I have no family to worry about. Just of this group, and the dragon was after we killed a worm south of here, I guess.
Oh, I will say, Rakus, I bet there's more to your story. More than I feel you're not sharing. Which is good. It's not a problem to hold secrets. Secrets can be good. But, for now, as he'll stand up, he'll take his pipe that he smokes with, and he'll start to. He'll smoke out of his pipe. He'll form the same dragon sculpture that Rakus made in his carving. So you see as Daven takes a big fucking whiff of this pipe. And as he exhales, you see this dragon in the exact same shape as your sculpture, Rakus, appears. Ah, always calms my nerves. Where's Morak?
As the dragon, like the smoke dragon, starts lifting up, I want to cast Prestidigitation to make it like red.
Breathe fire.
Okay. As the smoke monster lifts up, Rakkus mutters something, and the color of the smoke turns red as it begins to float upwards.
Hmm. Interesting color choice. Are you fond of red dragons?
No, I guess it's just the first color that came to my head. Where did you learn that smoke trick?
Oh, it's more of a gimmick I learned in my old town. For the most part, it's all from the pipe here, actually. But still a little bit of me. I don't know. It's more of a fun thing I like to do. Entertains the children.
So is it the
Makes-
morning?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's morning time.
Okay.
I can ask the same about your smoke coloration trick. I'm not too fond on magic, but I wouldn't mind learning some myself.
I wouldn't be able to help you there.
How come?
To be honest, I don't fully know why I have these gifts, or whatever you may call them.
Magical abilities.
It
I've heard it
means
a
you're
few
lucky.
times. Heard it a few times in a few different towns. Some folk are born with more magical properties than others. Weird. I don't know why.
We'll yell across the camp. Well, not yell, but I'm assuming we're in talking distance.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It means you're lucky. Well, then again, it depends on the user.
Very true. Some it come, no expense, but others it may cost them their lives. It's weird though. I don't really have a reason as to why. All I've known is that a few special individuals are just inherently better. I will say though, skills with the sword is more or less just learned. It's my philosophy. It does make me miss my father though. Great man. Oh, who's hungry?
After that dreary conversation, I think anybody would be.
I like you. I like a lot of folk. As he starts to stand up, and he'll move towards his backpack and start to grab out his mess kit and some rations, and
Okay.
he'll consume one of the rations.
So what time is it?
It's about 8 in the morning.
All right. Mark will get all of his gear, put on and stuff before he decides to eat anything.
Cyphus, would you like to roll your Crimson Right?
Yes,
Damage.
please. Gotta roll it twice though. That's a 1. That one fell off the desk. Okay, so 4 damage. Almost put that on Dave, and that was not good.
Okay.
4. Alright.
Everyone's
Got it.
awake in the morning. Who would like to? Is there anything anyone would like to do before they continue on, or?
I would like to wake up. I'm still underneath the cart, so
Yeah.
Santina opens her eyes and then lifts her head up and then bonks her head on the bottom of the cart, and all you hear is like, "Ow!" She's gonna rub her head and roll over, picking up her bags and putting them back onto herself before rolling
I'm assuming that Cyphus hears that, seeing as it's directly below him.
Yeah.
I'm also assuming Aster hears that as he's waking up.
I mean, yes, there is a bump
Yeah.
from the cart. John, I can hear whatever is like moving around.
Doesn't move.
That doesn't mean you move it more.
No, yes it does. What do you want to do?
Cyphus will, as he hears the bump, he'll get up and look down below the cart, and he'll say, "I had a feeling that would happen."
Yeah, I don't know why I didn't remember where I was. Cynthia's
sure
gonna roll out from underneath the cart and stand up, brushing off some of the dirt.
Cyphus will get up as well, and he'll offer, "You can always sleep in the car next time. I don't mind."
No, trust me, it's for the best.
Why? Why is it for the best?
I'm not comfortable talking about it, if that's okay.
It's not a problem.
Anyways, when are we eating?
Whenever you'd like.
Oh. Well, in that case, Carson, question. So...
Sky, answer.
Shut the fuck up. Where is the... Alright, Carson, so since I'm proficientist, do I have the brew supplies on me?
No.
No? Okay. Okay. Gotcha. Never mind.
I do, gotcha. Anyway, I'll say for simplicity's sake, everyone has their breakfast meal.
Gotcha.
Santina, would you like to do your infusions and your experimental elixir, or?
I'll keep my infusions the same
Okay.
as before, and my elixir, yes, I'll be more than happy to roll for that again. Haha.
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 Oh god.
Alright. What do we get? Alright. Alright, so oh, it's a good one. Santina pulls out another bottle from her small bag and holds her hand up to the bottle for a few minutes before a more yellowish kind of gold in kind of liquid starts to form into the bottle before she takes her hand
Whoa.
away and starts
Ooh. What?
I'll tell you what I got, Carson.
So tell me what you got, what you really, really got. I'll tell you what I got, what I really, really got. I got it.
Get it alive.
Depression.
Who can say where the road goes?
That's copyrighted.
I was gonna say that.
Bad.
Anyway,
The ban hammer.
is there anything else anyone would like to do in the morning?
Other than be cool.
Yeah, always.
Pretty solid.
Alright.
You know, like in TV shows when like a character like is trying to pretend to be two different people.
No.
Like they're switching between like scenarios of like I have to be this person in this area and this person in this area, and like they mess up and they start to be like the first person in the second area, and like back and forth.
Yes.
Like that's what it feels like to play two characters at once.
Imagine what it felt like to play 7 at once.
Bruh.
Bruh.
Moment.
Alright,
Indeed.
let's continue.
So, Morak, make another investigation or survival with advantage.
So that'll be 14 plus 4, so that's a 18.
Okay.
That's a 18. I got 18, bro.
mostly your trip goes unnoticed. The skies do get a little cloudier, and it begins to rain as you. Let me check. About near the end of the day, um, it begins to storm and lightning strikes across or lightning is streaking across the sky, and you begin to pass by a small mountain. I'd like everyone to roll perception checks.
No advantage.
No advantage.
Roll the game. What?
12.
11.
11.
All right. What did everyone roll?
Perception check, right?
Yep.
And I gotta.
Anaba rolled a 24.
Okay. Weird flex, but okay.
Alright, that's pretty good. Let's see. So perception in total is 18 total.
So Rackus, Aster, what did Morik get?
12.
Okay, Rackus, Aster, and Anaba. As you're passing by, you look at the top of the mountain and you can see a tower that is gently lightened up by the striking lightning. And you also
That's rather
see rolling down a small hill towards you. You see what appears to be a child falling down the hill, and she falls in front of your cart and into the mud.
What?
Sorry.
Laugh.
What the fuck, bro?
And she begins to get up and she says, "Please, can you help me?"
I would like to roll insight.
She stands up, and she seems to be a young gnome. Sure, you can roll insight.
All right, gotcha. It's a good thing I'm proficient in this. 22, unnatural 20.
She is genuinely serious when she asks for help.
Aster will without question run over to help this child.
She stands up, and she appears to be a young gnome.
Gnome! Sorry.
And she looks at you when you come over, and she says, I was in my tower before these animated suits bursted into my tower, and my friend is stuck in there, and they forced me out.
I'm on it.
I'll pay you. I'll pay you all whatever I have. Just
But before any of that, before she's mentioned anything about pay, Aster summoned his sword and was running up the hill.
okay. Fiverr will look at the rest of the group and he'll say, "Well, for one, we need a place to stay at, and for two, we need to help her. At least I'm obligated to."
Mark will shrug his shoulders, draw his greatsword, and say, "Well, let's go then."
He will turn the cart, and the cart will begin to attempt to go up the hill. Let me roll something.
I don't like it when you roll things. Don't roll things.
Okay.
He just decides in his head what the number's
Nice.
gonna be.
Yeah. They're all 20s for opponents now.
Natural 20.
Yeah.
Okay. And okay. The horses manage to get up the hill without slipping or falling.
Yo. Now where's Aster?
In the cart.
You get up top of the hill, and you see this about 300-foot tall tower that is made of stone,
Jesus.
at the top of which, on each side, appears to be mechanisms that gently kind of tick, and there is a broken down wooden door. And do you enter?
I shall.
Okay.
I'll follow behind Morark.
Yeah, let's do this.
Fiverr will say, I'll stay outside and watch over the little lady here.
All right, you do you, but yeah, I just well, Asta's already into that.
Keep in
part.
mind, Mark does have his sword drawn, and he's entering.
Oh yeah, Ast just got his sword drawn as well.
I'm aware.
Yeah.
Entering the main floor, I imagine everyone does.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Maybe.
Um,
I don't know. We got some mutant boys over here.
I know.
Oh yes, both David and Cyphus enter.
What about Santina?
I said she
No,
follows
she
behind
doesn't.
Morark.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, behind Morark is David, so you gotta be behind David.
Entering,
Okay, bitch.
entering this dark.
You gotta be behind.
Entering this dark stone room, there is a metal table, which is the center of the circular room. There are 2 spiral staircases, one that goes underground and one that continues upwards. And if you walk to the middle of the room and look up, you see that there's another floor about 300 feet up that is made of wood.
Oh my god.
Entering, you can hear the clicks of gears pressing against one another. And the gnome girl will say it from outside. They entered the basement and took my friend there.
Basement, huh? All right.
So, is there like a cellar door somewhere?
Is there a what?
Is there a door that
No,
leads
it's
to
just a
cellar?
staircase down. Or
Alright,
it's a
cool.
spiral staircase
Door
that
will go
starts
down?
downward. Yeah.
Yeah, it is time to go down.
Does everyone walk down the staircase?
I will walk down the staircase.
I follow
Yes.
after everybody.
Okay. Everyone steps onto the staircase.
Yeah, but before I do, I'll say, Santina, if you choose to come with us, stay somewhere in the middle of the group, not the very back, not the front.
I'll get there when we all get down there.
And as soon as you get about halfway down, it's been like 30 seconds of walking down this spiral staircase, and it's completely dark. Then you hear a click, and the
Pressure plate.
staircase.
We touched the Minecraft pressure plate. Where's the
We-
redstone contraption?
The staircase begins to slant downward and make a flat staircase.
Oh,
It's
no,
a
the
slippery slide. It's a slide.
And I need everyone to
Wait.
make a dexterity
Wait.
saving throw.
I remember this. Okay, that's cool.
Natural,
Natural
20, baby!
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Okay. Okay.
Carson, if we all get natural 20s, can you buy us ice cream?
Okay. Did anyone
So-
get 13 or below?
I got a big.
No, I got an artificial 20.
I got a big fat 5. Does that count as a 20?
Okay. So everyone, you
I-
begin sliding down.
Cyphus got a natural 1,
Slide and slide
Okay.
and slide.
And what
which
about,
means he got a 5.
what about
And
David?
then David got a. He got a 13.
Okay. So Cyphus and Anaba, everyone begins slipping down this slide that curls around and around and around. You get a slightly dizzy, and eventually, all of you are flinged about
Flung.
30 feet
You
in
mean
the air.
flung?
Sorry,
We are
flung.
flinged. No, we are flinged.
We are flinged.
Okay, you
I-
are flung 30 feet in the air above
The action of being
the
flinged.
floor, and you all begin to fall down. Everyone takes
Bullshit
2
fall
points of damage, except Anava and Cyphus. You take
A lot of
8
damage.
points.
20.
8 points of falling damage.
8? Oh my goodness, you.
Oh my god. 2
Dang.
points for anyone else? Alright, cool.
Alright, Anaba's fainted.
Man, it feels
I
bad,
wish-
man. That
I
natural
wish
20
the
no, that's-
second wind, I'm too low.
Shut up, Seth.
I wish to
And,
land on my feet.
You all.
I used shield. I'm kidding.
Well, most of you, the
Reaction.
ones who saved you land on. You don't land directly on your feet, but you land relatively softly. So those who
Yeah.
failed who didn't.
Jeez, man.
I
2
landed.
damage is a lot for me, Carson.
Can I do a roll?
Do I
2
still
damage
have
is
my
a lot for
sword?
you. 8 damage is a
Yes.
lot for me.
Okay.
And as you guys kind of topple onto this stone hallway, there's one door at the end of the hallway, and
It's time
that
to go
is
through
where
the
we
door,
will
boy.
conclude the session
All right.
for today.
Oh, dang it.
Oh my
You
gosh.
rat bastard.
It is 10:10.
Wait a minute. Do we have a Raditz here?
Like my favorite Naruto character.
Yes, Raditz is here.
What did
I
you
thought
do?
Raditz was gonna wait by the cart.
Nah, that's
Actually,
just.
you know
was
what?
5 of those
Actually,
waiting.
I will have Raditz wait by the cart for
Oh.
terms of simplicity.
Okay.
Yeah, please.
And
But also,
yeah,
when we tune in next time.
yeah,
I
Nathan
think we-
will
I
come
think-
down.
I'm very aware as to what's going on, so I have a plan in mind.
I think you
Anyway.
need a big bowl of shut the hell up.
That will be it for today's session. Thank
What a
you
week
for
that.
tuning in, and we will see you
Cyphers is dead.
next weekend.
Yeah. Oh boy.
That's a new.
Goodbye.
All right. Goodbye.
Bon voyage.